Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Hold up. Uh guys, as you may know, I usually use my not AirPod Max to listen to the audio. The battery died surprisingly, so I'm using something else. Using just the wireless like AirPods like a normal person this time around. The audio shouldn't sound that different. I checked. I did a test recording, and it seemed fine. So let's hope it stays that way. But who knows? Because I just remember like years ago. This was like eons ago at this point. But I tried to use these before, and the audio from DSP sounded so bad. It was like, oh my god, it was the worst audio I've ever heard in my life. But luckily, OBS changed at some point where now I don't need to use like Soundflower to capture the audio or anything. It goes straight to OBS, which is like amazing. It's like so good. So we're gonna listen to this little tokon bullshit. Okay, so sorry about that, but I saw the tweet. He made a tweet saying that he was doomed and he bought the PC version and all this other stuff. It made it sound like he was just gonna say Arxis fucked it up and that's it. Which would have like honestly, when I first saw the tweet, I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be him just shitting on Arxis because I think it's a PlayStation problem. Be it intentional or not, like I'm not gonna get into the conspiracy theory of it. I just think probably what ended up happening was, since this is a Sony produced game, Sony probably was like, hey, we are producing this. You need to include these other packets in your game because whatever, that could have just been it. And then these things just did not communicate very well with like Arxis's network or whatever, like, and then it created the problem that the PC version has right now. This was found out during the beta. Like people were like clearly going through the data just to see what they could find. I think the season one pass got leaked. So I think the full roster got leaked. I think. But there's that, and then they found all these other like packets. It's like DRM, anti cheats, stuff like that's bundled in. This is stuff I don't think is in Arxis's other games. I don't think Strive has this. I don't think. Uh, what other fighting game do they have? I know um, Underbirth, I think, is theirs, and but I think they had another issue that they since fixed, and they made it up by giving the season one pass for free to people. So like whatever, only to PC, of course. But but yeah, like it's just I don't think it's an Arxis problem personally. I think it is just a happenstance of probably what Sony requires of their games to have on PC, because PlayStation is like a closed network, so Sony probably doesn't really have any worry about cheating, modding as much. Versus PC, it's a little bit more open, so that's probably why they bundled it. I just think that's what's going on. I don't think there's a grand conspiracy. I think it's interesting. The timing of all these things happening is fun to think about, but I just don't think there's like a guy in Sony twirling his mustache over this. But I do think it's their fault that Tokon had such a problematic release. I wouldn't blame Marvel either. I think with Marvel, the only thing I would blame them for would probably be like if there was some kind of like if they wanted the gameplay to not be as complex as typical fighters, that might be why the game plays the way it plays, stuff like that. But I don't think they had any problem, because I don't think this had the same situation that Marvel's Capcom Infinite had. But to put into perspective, I don't think it's infinite level of tampering from Marvel's part. I think that had a whole other thing going on with it too, so that's different. So I don't think Tokon has these like problems. I just think the problem is just the happenstance of Sony requiring them to put in, because the problem with Tokon is just how the game runs. I don't think Marvel has any like concept of that, because also this came out like after Brand New Day. before Doomsday, so I do think that this had at least enough time to develop. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I think. That's what I'm thinking. So that's my stance. I think this is a Sony issue, and that Arxis can fix because they're doing a maintenance right now apparently, and that may fix it. But I think that's all that's going on here. I don't think there's anything nefarious going on here. You know what I'm saying? But that's my thought. But we're not here to listen about what I think. No, 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 no. I'm getting ahead of myself here. We're here to listen to what the guy thinks, because after I read that tweet, that I was just expecting him to shun Arxis. That's all I was expecting. But no, no, no. Of course, DSP always has to surpass my expectations for him. I can expect him to shun trolls. He'll find another way to like shun something else. Like this is genuinely the most insane take I have heard from him. I mean, I can't even qualify this at this point. It's almost every take is bad. Okay, let's just get into it. I'm like rambling way too much.
To it. Let's talk about Marvel Tokon and the sad fact that this game did not live up to expectations at launch. The FGC is now completely changing its attitude towards one version of the game.
It's funny. I think the FGC has kind of been back and forth with this game. I think there were 3 betas. The third one I think is the public beta, I think. I know like the first beta people were kind of like mixed on it overall. The second beta people just hated it. They were like, "Yeah, this game is dead. DOA, buddy." And then like after that, people started to come around to it because they're like, "Actually, this game is pretty good. The game is pretty good right now." And then it was the same thing with the beta. And then the open beta was when people found out about like the Sony anti-cheats and DRM shit, whatever. And then that was kind of like people were saying the game feels good, like gameplay wise. The PC version might be a disaster. Like that was like the overall opinion. And then the game came out, and then lo and behold, it was a disaster at launch. And now they're doing a maintenance to make it more stable and all that kind of stuff. Who knows if that's gonna actually fix it or be the fix the game needs or whatever, right? But we'll see. We'll see in time, because I think it's right now as I'm recording this that the maintenance is going on.
And what this means for the future of my content here with the game, okay?
But you know, I feel the other part that made me frustrated with this segment is just I know DSP's opinion of Tokon. We all know his opinion on Tokon. He doesn't like the game. He doesn't like the gameplay of it. Like I think he does make it clear in this that he also just doesn't like the basis of the gameplay. Which I kind of like whatever. I mean, I'm kind of whatever on the gameplay too, but that's his problem. I don't think, like, let's say that Arxis fixes the game. The game runs perfectly, no issues. It's fixed so well that even DSP is forced to admit that they fixed it. Well, actually, no, I'm wrong. Just generally fixed. Let's say they fixed everything. DSP will still go online and then say, "Wow, they didn't fix anything. The gameplay's still laggy," because this dude just keeps getting body. Like he's playing, this guy sucks. He sucks at modern fighters. Like he doesn't know how to play them. He can't hang. He only knows how to play if there's like a combo route that he recognizes, which Street Fighter 6 has, which was able to get him to be carried all the way to Master, but it couldn't carry him to Grandmaster.
Okay, so first off, for those who don't know, let's just get right into, a full explanation. Marvel Tokon is the brand new fighting game.
Like, honestly, listen to how he played the online in Tokon, and try to tell me he liked the game. Like, the only thing he has said good about the game was the graphics, good, and he likes the story, which is fine. I mean, people can play a fighter for the story mode, like, whatever. But that's it. And he keeps saying, "Oh, it's like reading a real comic story." Like, aren't all these like things real comic stories. I mean, a lot of talented people work on video games. Like, I guess he means like, uh, look at the Legend of Korra game. Like, that doesn't feel like a real Avatar Legend of Korra story or whatever. Same with the Avatar fighting game. You play the story mode in that, and it's fucking garbage. And it's like, yeah, that's not like indicative of the quality of the story you'll get by watching The Last Airbender or whatever. Uh, but there are like story modes in video game adaptation that tell good stories. Like it's so funny. He is really sharing this opinion on this, probably because as comic book panels in the story mode. And this guy's such a fucking baby brain. He's like, oh, dude, comic book. It's like comic book. It's like you play a Marvel Spider-Man 2. And it's like, dude, it's like a Marvel movie because there's like moving cutscenes. And then you clap and then you point at the characters you know. Like that's what DSP is doing. He's playing Marvel Tokon. He sees comic book panels. He's like, comic book panels. I know what that is.
Game from Arxis. This is the same company that makes games like Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, and Dragon Ball Fighters. Okay, it has all of the Marvel properties.
I love he lists those. Blaze Blue is probably the only like Arxis right now that's like a niche fighting game, but he doesn't talk about their other fighters like Under Night, Rebirth, and Melty Blood. I think Melty Blood is also a Arxis game. But whatever. I mean, Blaze Blue is Blaze Blue. Yeah.
The Avengers, the X-Men, Spider-Man, etc. And it is a original concept universe, meaning it's set in like this almost pseudo-Japan style.
This is so stupid. I hate he is so fixated on the anime style. I mean, it is like an anime style. Like, I mean, let's be honest here. But I mean, come on. Like, they probably just want to have a different like spin on it. It's a different iteration. Like, it's not like a huge like, oh, it's a what if scenario where what if Marvel was in Japan? Like, what is this?
The X-Men, Spider-Man, etc. And it is a original concept universe, meaning it's set in like this almost pseudo-Japan style anime-esque.
Pseudo-Japan style. Like, what does this... These are just buzzwords. I'll be honest. Usually buzzwords have some kind of logic and context. DSP's buzzwords make no sense. Pseudo-Japan style. What the fuck are you talking about? First off, like, yeah, the developer is Japanese. It's Arc System Works, buddy. Secondly, the game takes place in the Marvel universe. So, like, there is New York and all that shit. It's just the character designs and all that are, like, Japanese-inspired, anime-inspired, whatever the fuck, because of, like, the art direction. That's it. It's not pseudo-Japan style. It takes place in pseudo-Japan style. What?
Version of the Marvel Universe with its own lore and interesting stuff. So it's cool because it's got references to the MCU, it's got references to the cartoons, but it's also its own thing.
What?
I'll just say this from initially...
It has references to the cartoons. It's probably just a Marvel product that are just paying homage. Like you think it's these homages that are like, oh yeah, they're just putting things in. It's just they wanted to show that they love the source material. Like, he kind of takes away all of the personal aspects of these. Like, I understand, like, a lot of like superhero movies and this that are like slop, and it's like, whatever. I get that. But there are people who work on these things that are passionate about the thing they're working on. Like, just because it either doesn't come out very good or you just don't care about it or whatever, does not mean that the people working on it are all soulless husks of corporate executives, necessarily. Like, it's clear that people who work on Tokon like Tokon, and they liked the Marvel universe, and they just wanted to make a game that's like focused on that, and they probably took the best aspects of it to kind of show that, hey, we like this iteration of Green Goblin. That's what we're gonna focus on. We're not gonna do this version of Green Goblin, whatever. I mean, that's the same shit with any other like property. They always try to like use an iteration of something that either they like or they think other people will appreciate or whatever, and build from that. But whatever, okay.
Actually playing the beta and one day of the full release, the production values are off the charts for a fighting game. Probably one of the best looking, most original concept worlds, one of the best stories I've ever
I
seen.
like it's like caught up on the production value, but isn't this like aren't Arc System just using the same engine they've used since like Xrd? I mean, it might be more optimized. I think. I think this is. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's exactly the same, but it's definitely a more optimized version of that engine. Like the production value is pretty good. Like there's a lot of like I get what he's saying, but it's like they have used this engine so much that they're pretty prolific using it now. I mean, like even Strive. Like, I mean, the most that people don't like about Strive is that it cuts back a little bit on the anime aesthetic a little bit more, which I kind of agree. But I do like the more detail. Like if you look at Ramlethal's design in Strive, I kind of like her design in Strive more than in Xrd. Xrd was a little too like bland for me. Like I didn't really care. The only thing about her Xrd design is I like the wind pose where she sat on her sword. I thought that was pretty cool. But she does that in Strive too, you know. But I like her design in Strive more. I like the red bandages. She looks pretty cool. You know, whatever. But that's that.
Ever seen in a fighting game. Most fighting games don't bother with good stories, or like as of late, the companies that used to do good fighting game stories like NetherRealm have actually fallen off. Well,
Fighting game stories are all over the place. I like the story in Skullgirls. I like the story in that game. I like Guilty Gear story a lot. It's convoluted and weird, but it's kind of fun. I vibe with it. You know, it's a pretty cool story if you ask me. Uh, the, Avatar I'll just say it. Avatar has set back fighting game stories by a few years. You know, they set it back. They set them back. That's how bad it is. Street Fighter 6's story mode is non-existent. The arcade stories have been very disappointing. Again, only the Ingrid arcade story is the only one that's actually interesting. Everyone else is like, hey man, I just want to hang out. Okay, I don't need to play this anymore.
this seems to me to be one of the best fighting game stories ever. A mysterious challenger, gladiator style champion guy comes from space and challenges the planet to fight him in teams of 4 versus 1.
Oh my god, I just realized, dude, this shirt is garbage. Oh my god, I wasn't really watching the podcast yesterday because I was driving around and I was just listening to it, but dude, you don't have the body to leave that many buttons open. Oh my god, dude, like god damn, why does he want to show us his chest hair so much?
And if you win,
yeah, I have
well,
chest hair.
you
Look
get
at
a
my
reward.
chest hair. I
If
mean,
you-
usually people want to show like their facial hair. Like that's like normal. No one wants to show their chest hair. Like, especially if you don't have like a fucking body. His body is like a fucking husk. Like, let's cover up. God damn.
If you lose, well, I'm going to crush your planet and make them slaves. Okay? And there's...
I love he's saying this is an interesting story. This is the most generic story you could find. I love him glazing this. Like, it's fine. It's a fine story, and there's like good moments in there, sure. But he is like, dude, this story is like so good. There's a challenger that shows us like, okay, like this has been done in every version of any story ever. Like it's been done in anime, aka the tournament arcs in any anime, shown in anime. In comics they do this. Oh, a world destroyer is here and you must play a game to whatever. Like, dude, there was even like a Superman, like My Adventures with Superman did an episode with this concept. Like, this is not a unique concept at all.
There's multi-tiered storylines where different groups are trying to get their ragtag bands together to form a team to take on this champion and save the world. Some are doing it for good purposes, some are doing it for completely selfish, evil purposes, and some were somewhere in between, even being forced to do it against their will.
I love that he brings up the forced to do it against their will or whatever. That is the same premise as Suicide Squad. And you know what his opinion on Suicide Squad is? It's stupid. Why would the villains try to save the world? It's like, yeah, because they're forced to save the world. Like, that's the whole thing. And he hated that concept, but he loves it here.
I
don't
so
know.
there's
I
five
don't
story
quite
campaigns.
get his hate for the
Each varies in
Suicide
length. Like the
Squad.
Doctor Doom villain campaign is about an hour 15 minutes.
And I'm not talking about the first Suicide Squad movie that was garbage. I'm just saying in general. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with the concept of Suicide Squad. I do like it's Task Force X and like Justice League. Like, I do think it's an interesting concept, but he just fucking hates it. He doesn't want to hear about it. It's like I don't get that. I think like Suicide Squad is an interesting concept of a story.
The Ghost Rider Samurai Outriders campaign, that one was about 2 hours. Okay, now pretty cool. In that regard, like I said, I actually feel 100% like in this situation that they did a great job. And they're actually best in class when it comes to we put a lot of effort into the visual design, the character design, the storylines, and the offline content. ArcSys hit it out of the park, 100%. Okay?
100%.
The problem is, well, for me, there's two problems. The first problem is the fighting game engine itself is not a traditional fighting game engine at all. They based it on team-based combat with a lot of tagging and assists, and a lot of flashy combos.
This is insane to say. Like, this is typical fighting game stuff. Like, that's what, like, the versus Capcom games are. And all this other stuff. Like, this isn't the first time they did a team-based fighting game, right?
And a lot of high-hit scenarios. It's not a straightforward 1v1 fighting game in any means. And that's my staple stuff that I grew up playing. Even though, yeah, did I play the Versus series? Of course I did. It was humongous in our...
I hate this guy, man. This dude literally sitting here saying, yeah, man, that wasn't my scene. I wasn't into, like, the team-based fighting games or whatever. But this dude loved fucking, like, LARPing as if he loved Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Yeah, I played, the first Marvel vs. Capcom and all this other shit. Like, he fucking, like, was sucking the dicks off that game. And all this stuff. Like, he was all about getting Marvel vs. Capcom 2 to be free. Free MVC2, man. Not in the arcade bullshit. Put it in consoles. And now he's like, yeah, I wasn't my thing. I dabbled with it. Like, no, man, you played them. Shut up.
Arcades, it was one of my favorite series of all time. But this game pushes it to the extreme in the realm of easy mode gameplay. Auto combos that literally a baby could execute by just mashing a button like this. Whether you're playing offline or online, anyone can do a ginormous multi-hit combo ending in a huge super.
I guess I'm dumber than a baby because I still struggle playing this game. I don't think it's that easy. He's making it sound like it's super easy. Like, you just on fight, just mash square. Like, no, you do need to, like, know how to respond to things and all that kind of stuff. Like, there is, like, some knowledge to it. Like, maybe the execution's easier, but it's, like, is easy, but come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just struggle, just in general, though, I do struggle with, like, team-based games like this. Like, I struggled with Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dragon Ball FighterZ, I will say, is the only one that I could kind of hang in, to be honest. But even then, it was still like, this is too much. Then there was, what's the other one? There was another one. Was there? Well, whatever. Just in general, like, even Marvel vs. Capcom 2, it's like, I can't hang with this. Marvel 3, I couldn't hang in that. It's like, I don't know. I'm not good with these assist games, right? And this is like that, and it's like it's fun, but it's like I think I'm gonna, like, move on from it after a while and just go back to Strive. You know what I'm saying?
Super that does wild damage. So why did they do that? Well, it's pretty obvious. This is what fighting games are doing. They're pushing in the direction of the ultra casual. They don't care about competitive gameplay anymore. All they want to do is cater to an audience that will sink money into their game for maximum sales, regardless of the fact that the game plays competitively well. They just want it to look flashy so people will spend money. That's not good. That's taking away the competitive nature of a game for the sake of...
I like that he's saying that it looks good. Like, he's capitalizing on that, and I think it's more about getting people to feel like that they're good. Like, oh my god, I'm so good at this game. And I kind of feel like I'm falling into that trap with Strive. I don't think I'm that good in Strive. I kind of want to go back to playing Exard just to see how I play that game. And see, like, you know, can I actually do some stuff in that game that's like pretty good, whatever. But I do see a lot of people like talk about this aspect where a game can just be like not fundamentally good, and it's only in service to make people who are not used to playing fighting games get the idea that they're good, and when they're not. And I do think that is what's going on with a lot of these modern fighters, and he's kind of like dancing around that. And I have a feeling once he like lands on it, he's gonna bring up to an obnoxious point. So hopefully he never discovers this.
sake of sales. But every franchise has already undergone this. All the sports games that you love pretty much are watered down now.
This is dumb. He has never played a Madden game since when? Like, years ago. He was on Twitch when he last played a Madden game. He's like, yeah, these sports games got watered down. Did they? Did Madden get watered down? I don't think it did. I just don't think people talk about it because I don't think the people who play games in DSP's little sphere here play Madden. Like, I don't think Madden is like, I mean, it's not even big in my circle. So I don't know even if it is watered down. Is there even a community that's talking about like the way that people talk about fighting games? Is that going on in the football crowd? Are they just saying, guys, they do auto passes and auto touchdowns? They do auto combo to touchdown.
Now, what about Call of Duty? Holy moly. Is
Holy
Call of
moly.
Duty changed and watered down now from what it used to be? It seems like
Is it?
every single
I don't
game
know. I don't really care for Call of Duty,
and
to be
or
honest.
genre of game that seems to be competitive eventually sells out and becomes this more easy mode mainstream stuff. And the problem with that is that if you want to play it at any kind of an entertaining level, you either have to give in to the bullshit and mash buttons.
But this is dumb. Like, yeah, they want to like sell more copies because that's the end goal for any company to make a video game. Like, you know, it's a dual-edged sword because on one hand, it's like, yeah, it's nice to see more people play a game and all this other stuff, but it is at the expense of like what got you involved in that game as well. Like, I do get that. I mean, I thought that with Blaze Blue. Like, I like Blaze Blue. I got in at Continuum Shift. I think Continuum Shift was before the one. No, I don't remember. I played one that was like before this giant hiatus that Blaze Blue had. I can't remember, man. It's been so long. I know I played the one on the PS3, then I played the one that got ported to the PS4, whatever, and then that was it, right? But then they did Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. That game is fucking garbage. Like that game, like if the rumors are to be believed that they're gonna go back to making more Blaze Blue games after this DLC character they're making for the newest one, whatever the fuck. If they go back to it and it's the same gameplay as Cross Tag Battle, I am not playing that game. Like that is trash. I hated Cross Tag Battle. It is the worst game I've ever touched. Like, this dude talks about how Tokon is bad or whatever. Cross Tag Battle is by far the worst. Like, that got me off of Blaze Blue so fast, and it is the most expensive game to get into. So much DLC that you have to rebuy, I think, if you were to like get the PS4 version, I think. It's so bad. It's awful. Genuinely garbage game. No, it's like the PS. Whatever. It's a bad game. Don't buy it. Don't pick it up. It's like a 2-button game. Uh, they put my character in it, Nine the Witch or whatever. I love this character. Her move that I love so much got fucking nerfed to hell. Fuck that game. Trash game.
Or you have to basically play a ton. Because you can overcome the easy mode.
This is stupid. Play a ton. Yeah, that's any fighter. Yeah, if you want to get good at a fighter, you're gonna have to play a ton. Like this is such a nonsense statement. When you think about it long term with what DSP is talking about, where he's like, "Oh my god, this game is too easy. It's stupid." Okay, so you want to be more complicated. If it's gonna be more complicated, you're gonna need more time to play it to learn the game. And he's complaining that, well, if you want to play like an actual fighter, you have to play a ton. Yeah. Like, I don't quite get this logic. And it's true for any fighter. Like, I have a friend that I play Strive with, and like I play probably more Strive than he does, so like clearly like I'm a little bit better than him. And when I talk to him about it, he's like, "Yeah, I don't play a lot of this. I go, but he plays more Street Fighter 6." And it's like, yeah, like he's gonna struggle more because he's not putting in enough time to play Strive. And it's kind of funny, like he has this DSP had this statement when Street Fighter 6 was new. You have to be a good loser. And it's like, yeah, that is true. You have to like lose a lot to get good. Like you're not gonna get good by just dropping the game. And I kind of feel like there are times where I get mad, and it's like I don't finish sets, but then I do DM the person on PlayStation. I'm like, hey, let's do an actual set. Like I felt bad like just ending it that way because I kind of want to get good at this matchup, and then I end up liking the matchup way more, and it's like, oh, actually, no, this is actually fun to go back and forth with, because I realize you're just not gonna get good if you just drop games left and right. If you're not, whatever. He's saying like you have to play a lot. Like, yeah, you have to play a ton. You're not gonna learn anything if you just don't play a ton. He knows this. And the thing is, he wasn't planning on playing Tokon beyond the launch window. Like, I know he wasn't. He's not gonna do the season pass. Like, that'd be a waste of money. He's not gonna play beyond this month. Like, that'd be generous. Like, he may go back to it. He may go back to online because of this maintenance that they're doing, whatever. But he's not gonna play this game at all, and this guy will continue to LARP as well. Maybe I'll play this long term. No, you're not. You're not gonna play this more than the launch window because he wants to milk it. But we'll get into that a little bit in a bit.
Mode nonsense if you play a ton to learn the ways around abusive stuff. Because, especially with modern fighting games, most of the meta, most of the high-end abusable stuff is learned within the first couple of days and shared on the internet. The first person who I played online in Marvel Tokon, the very first experience match I had...
But if the game is easy, and you could just mash auto combos, how does he... So he's insinuating that the guy on day one either is like mastered the game and learned everything, but he's not thinking that, well, maybe he's just using the auto combo system. What if it's that, Phil? Okay.
I had on Thursday was someone who had Blade, the vampire hunter. He hit me with an aerial jab. Okay? Just a random jab in the air. He landed and proceeded to do a 50% damage, 100+ hit combo.
Now, but doesn't this game like require you like to do a quick recover by mashing a button? Maybe you should try to do that. Mash a button to do a quick recover or something. I feel like that this game has that. I know Strive, I think, has that. A lot of anime fighters have that, where if once you get knocked down, you have to like mash a button to like get up. Which of course you have to be careful because if you mash it too much, you may, do a jab which will leave you open.
Which was unavoidable because he hit me with an aerial jab. This was launch day. the day when it's the first time anyone should be playing the game, and the guy already knew a way to hit you with an air jab into a 50% loss of health. That is horrible. That is horrendous.
But what if
That is
that's
a heinous.
Okay, I love he's saying this, but what if that's a fundamental in a anime fighter? Like, he talks about fundamentals all the time, but what kind of fighter does DSP never play? An anime fighter. He never touched an Arxis game outside of Dragon Ball FighterZ. He never played Guilty Gear. He's terrified to learn Guilty Gear. That's a scary game for him. Like, he doesn't know, maybe that's a fundamental, and he's using the fundamentals against you. But he thinks that this is a thing that Tokon introduced. I mean, again, I'm not gonna say that it is or isn't, because I don't know. I don't even know if this game has that quick recovery system I talked about. I would have to go into, like, the battle tips in the game or whatever the fuck to see, like, if it does.
Heinous day one gameplay experience. No one should
No
be playing
one.
at that level in any competitive game on the first day of its release.
How do you
Period.
know that?
But that's what the FGC has done with fighting games. They have literally turned them into this easy to execute.
This is dumb. This is so dumb because he's conflating, like, the way the game was made to the FGC alongside people just sharing combo videos or whatever. But, like, honestly, how is that avoidable? Like think. Okay, let's just think about this, right? The beta comes out. DSP wanted to be in the beta. What was DSP gonna do when he got into the beta? Stream it. Like Maximilian, like Gecko Squirrel, Diaphone, whatever. They're gonna stream it. They're gonna stream combos that they learned within the beta, and then people are gonna watch the stream and then learn from that, right? Kind of like how DSP learned how to play Blanca in Street Fighter 6 by watching match gameplay or whatever. So this is just unavoidable because guess what, DSP? What you're doing is a career for other people. Like, I just love that he's omitting himself because he's not an FGC. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't look at trailers or whatever the fuck. But it's like, this is just unavoidable. And I think, again, as I said in the last video, it's just washed up has-been energy. Like, grow up. Grow up. People are gonna share their gameplay. They're gonna want to share the techniques. And just because they share doesn't mean that it eliminates competition. Like, it's the same nonsense that people say, why are animators sharing advice and sharing techniques about their craft? It's like, yeah, because it's a collaborative effort. People love what they're doing. They want to share that, and it doesn't take away from the competition. Like, at all. It only becomes a problem if it's just straight up plagiarizing. But that's not what's going on here. Some people may learn this stuff and then make it into their own and make it unique or whatever and build off of that. Like, it's one thing to learn a fundamental combo route, and it's another to learn that and then build from that. You know, whatever. But DSP doesn't understand this because he keeps saying that this is bad and negative and stupid and why are they sharing this stuff? It's just to make money or whatever the fuck. And it's like, this is just how things are right now, and you have to deal with it. Grow up.
Yet, once you master it, try hard-esque sweats experience, that's just not fun to play unless you...
Fighting games are sweats. I'm sorry, this bullshit where it's like, I just want to have fun. But then when the game is like catering to casuals with simple inputs and simple execution, he says that's bad. Like, this is such a like... I feel there is a nuance to this discourse, but DSP is just not equipped to have it. He's just not the guy. He's not the guy for this.
Unless you want to be part of that community. Well, if you really want to spend all of your time and effort playing fighting games...
It's like when you see people on Twitter or just in general say like, I don't get why like, I just want to have fun online. Why are people being so tryhard and trying to get higher ranking points? I just want to have fun. Let me do what I want to play, man, or whatever the fuck. And it's like, yeah, like, you can't really be upset with them in the sense that it's irrelevant what they're saying. Like, it's irrelevant because it's a fighting game, and naturally people who are playing to win and playing to get good care about winning. They care about getting good. These people who are talking about this, they have no interest in like getting good or going to a tournament or just trying to get deep into the game in the competitive sense. They can complain all they want, but that's why they have casuals, they have lobbies, whatever. Like that's where they should be going, or just kind of cope with the fact that you're gonna be matched with people who are gonna want to play it seriously. Which is what I've been saying, even in like all the other fighting game videos I've done about DSP, saying like when you go in matchmaking online, you don't know who you're fighting against. You may be fighting against someone that's a tournament attendee. You might be going to a guy that may not want to go to a tournament but want to get good at the game. Or you're playing a guy that just wants to fuck around. Like, you don't know who you're matching with because it's a whole sea of people, and the game tries to best match with people in your range, whatever. But you don't truly know who you're fighting against. The best you can do is hope that you're playing against someone that matches what you're looking for in a match. But you may not get that. And that's it. That's how it is. But this guy is like thinking that like he's going online fighting against someone that just happens to beat his ass, and he's like, "Oh, this guy's a tryhard. He's trying to get to tournaments. He's never going to tournaments. This guy's a loser." And it's like you don't know what the other guy on the other end of the screen is like thinking. But whatever.
Maybe you'll enjoy Marvel Tokon day one. For me, it's like, dude, first match. Let's see what we can do. What the hell's going on? How's this guy doing this? It's just out. How does he even know how to do this? This is ludicrous. Okay? Now, what's the real controversy around Marvel Tokon right now, and why is the game falling apart?
Let's go.
So,
let's go.
As you know, 2 weeks ago, well, a little over 2 weeks ago now, I played the open beta. And when I played it, I was trying to matchmake and find matches, and it wasn't finding any. Like, it wouldn't find casual or ranked. I'm like, what's going on? Why is the matchmaking not working?
We're getting a full backstory.
Then, when I finally found people, the game was laggy, right? It was.
Whoa.
It was rollback city, dropping frames, skipping around, stuttering. It's unplayable, okay? Then, the only way I could even find a match was to go into a lobby, which is just an open lobby situation, and the only people I could find were like one-bar connections. So basically, on PC, which is what I play on, that's my format, okay? That's my platform. This game was essentially unplayable and unfun.
I love that he played this on PC, whatever, and people were like saying, buy it on PlayStation because it may not be good on PC, and all this other shit. DSP has a PS5 Pro. He has the setup for it. Because I've heard like, Gecko Squirrel shouts out, was talking about it. It's like, yeah, he has a PS5, but his setup is not conducive to use it, which is why he wants to play on PC. And that's why he was saying, like, look, if the PC launch is not good, I can't buy this day one, whatever, right? DSP has a setup that allows him to play PS5 games. He has really no excuse that he could not have bought the PS5 version. Like, the frame rate is the same, like, whatever, they both are 60 frames, just naturally. It makes sense to play on PC when it's like a first-person shooter, for example, because that can get up to 120 frames. Fighting games are universally 60 frames, like universally. Like there's no reason for a fighting game to be beyond that. I mean, maybe in the future they will be, but 60 is like the basic bitch frame rate that they target
during the open beta. So I said outright, I don't know if I'm going to get it because, man, the game looks great. But it should play way better than that for a game you're going to pay full retail price for. That's a joke. That it would be in that sad state during the open beta.
It's on PS5. He has a PS5
people who
Pro.
played it on PlayStation 5 didn't report any of those issues.
Like, I'm just going to say this as well. It is so corny. This dude gets a gaming PC and then Magic is like, I don't want to play on console ever again. And this like obnoxious attitude. This is the attitude. Like, he's not like that outwardly about it, but you can tell that he like only wants to play on PC because he thinks it's like the best platform in everything or whatever the fuck. Like there's no like whatever. Like that's what's so silly about this. Like what was I gonna say about that? like, you know what I mean? Like, he's so like, yeah, I'm gonna play on PC. Like, he's so snotty, which he like said was bad about the PC. The PC people are so elitist, and yet he gets a gaming PC, and now he's like part of the elite tube,
They
the
basically said
mustard
the game played
race.
well and liked it. So why the vast difference in performance between PlayStation and PC? Nobody knows.
People do know, like, dude, you could like there was a tweet there when Arxis announced like the maintenance that they're putting the game in or whatever, and someone's like, oh, this is not a Sony problem. Someone posted like, oh yeah, look at this, and all of these files that are causing these problems are all like PlayStation files. They're all PlayStation, and he's sitting there like, no one knows. People data mined the game and found all this like nonsense that Sony put into it. Whatever.
And this
But
has
nobody
been a big
knows.
problem in the last 2 weeks. People have been figuring out why is this PC
I mean,
version such a
maybe it's not that, but maybe it contributed in some way. Maybe there's some funky stuff going on behind the scenes that we may never know. But at the same time, it's like, it's very peculiar that the PlayStation version is the best version and the PC version isn't. So I do think it's like it might just be a happenstance with the Sony DRM shit that is throwing the wrench into the situation. Because again, their other games don't have this. Like, this is the only game Arxis has put out, from my knowledge, that has this DRM nonsense in it. So that could very much be the thing that's causing the problem here.
such a problem. So back on Thursday, the game released. All right, and I started playing the offline modes. Correct? The story mode.
Wrong,
was
you
actually called
didn't.
Episodes. We started with the
I love
Doctor
this
Doom
correct.
team.
I played this
I had a
right.
blast. I absolutely loved playing it. It had a great story.
What are you
Yeah, there
asking?
was very little gameplay in the story. Mostly was fighting against the final boss as 4 different forms. Yes, the final boss actually has, well, I take it back, 3 different forms. The final boss has 3 forms that are all completely different.
Right. Correct.
And we all had a great time with it. Like, honestly, the story of the Knights of Doom was great. And when we finished it, I was like, wow, okay, let's now go online. And let's see how we can play this game online with this team I just was messing with in the story mode. First match was that Blade player who literally was a sweats tryhard who had already learned the entire game before it had released and basically was
Right.
completely dominating. It's like, what is this? This isn't fun. There's absolutely
Complete
no opportunity for me to learn anything about the game when this guy already knows the entire meta and has mastered it before we even released. How did he do that, and how is that even fair?
How do you do
The
that?
second guy I played,
The game has like
well,
all
actually
these
wasn't
like
nearly as good, but this guy
lessons in it.
basically kind of already exposed the game for what it's going to be, a bunch of button mashing, because again, the game is all auto combos. So it's dash forward and mash a button. When that hit string ends, because eventually you're not going to get endless hits, it's going to run out, you call out an assist. The assist comes out and defends you against punishment, and then you just mash buttons again. Every once in a while, either go for a
But you can
throw
also
or the
punish the
universal
assist.
overhead, which everyone has. It burns meter, but it's a universal unblockable overhead, right? And that's the game. Like, that's literally it. Now, I'm sure there's more to it. I'm sure certain characters are good at zoning, right? They keep you away with projectiles and stuff like that. But for the first person I played, that was their gameplay, and I was like, it's kind of boring. Like, that doesn't feel very good to me. That feels pretty boring if that's what the whole game's going to be, and that seems like that's it, right? So that was my first stream experience. Loved
Right.
the episodic story. And then first online match was...
As you can tell, this is a normal reaction. But you know what's kind of funny? They talk about like this issue with the PC version, and DSP hasn't really talked about that yet, but we'll see.
laggy, and the guy already was a tryhard, ruined the experience of the first match ever. And the second match, the guy didn't really know much about it, but was doing the button masher combos. And when I saw it, I was like, okay, so this isn't very good. Second stream that I did of the
But
game,
you know what? Deez was able to beat that guy. Like, he always acts as if the button mashing thing is some unbeatable thing that he cannot win. The guy that was button mashing, Deez was able to beat him. So, like, there is like a clear skill like gap in this game. You may argue about the skill level or whatever, but whatever.
did the entire story mode of the Samurai Outsiders or Outriders, who is the team with Ghost Rider and Deadpool, Loki, and Blade. And their story was way more interesting than the Doom story, and it had character development, and it was well written. It felt like you were reading a really awesome comic book arc. It was good. I actually really liked it. The thing was, it took over 2 hours. So we didn't have time to play the game online again. All right. And I said to everyone, well, I'm going away for a couple days. Let's reconvene. When I come back next week, let's see where the game is at and go from there. So here's where the game is at, because I don't think you guys are going to.
This is not what he said. Like, dude, we watched the video. I love when he does revisionist history about the crash out he had, because like, he's only right in the sense of he ran out of time.
All right, and I said to everyone, well, I'm going away for a couple days. Let's reconvene. When I come back next week, let's see where the game is at and go from there. So here's where the game is at, because I don't think you guys are going to be very happy about this, all right? First off, I just want to let you know, I got a whole bunch of information about the game, okay? And a couple people were writing me about the game to keep me informed about it.
This part is like, it almost feels like Game Tracker, but like a dented Game Tracker, if that's even possible. It's like Game Tracker, but he was drinking a few too many paint cans.
Was off about what was going on at the FGC. So just listen to this. I'm going to read this word for word. This is an actual message that a fan sent me. It says, let's start with some bad news, Phil. I've been seeing a lot of opinion surface about Tokon since its release, and I'm going to sum up the sentiment I've seen in a number of places that makes sense to me. The sentiment is that Tokon is a great game for only two kinds of people. Number one, ultra casuals. Tokon's great for people who just want to enjoy a game with great aesthetics. They play by mashing buttons, and cool stuff will happen on the screen.
But DSP ranted last week, and a little bit in this, but he's gonna probably rant more, maybe, if I remember correctly. But he said literally, what is it? Oh my god, I'm blanking on this now. How can a casual play the game, doob? Like, I have to learn the game and play a lot? Dude, I just want to play the game casually. The FGC ruined the game. And then I love that ever since then, so far we've only heard how this game is good for casuals. But he just ranted how no one can casually play the game. Huh?
The screen. Which is exactly what I said. That's number one. Number two, dedicated tryhards. Tokon has a ton of mechanical depth that shines by far the brightest when the player puts in a tremendous number of hours into this game. A bunch of pros are...
Oh my god, this is so stupid. He said this before. I love that he probably read this email in the past and then incorporated what the email said in the beginning part, so it sounds like he's like enlightened. And then he's just reading what he just told us, basically. But I love the idea that he's saying, guys, if you play more of the game, you're gonna know the nuance of the game. That's any fighter. Like, come on. I'm sure you play more in Street, like, just like how this dude plays Street Fighter 6 versus anyone else that played longer than him. They've done more impressive combos with Blanca than DSP has done with Blanca ever. Like, this dude never does an air throw with Blanca, to the point where you don't remember he has an air throw. And he's like, yeah, the more you play, the more stuff you do. Yeah, that's, of course. Like, I love the criticism that a lot of the FGC has, or like people who are like fans of Guilty Gear or Street Fighter, for example, who play the modern games that may not like them, will always say like the skill ceiling is too short, and you'll see everything the character has to offer and be bored. Like, that's like what they've always said. Like, Strive, that, I mean, it's very evident in Strive. Like, you play Bike and you've done a lot with her. Like, you've seen everything about Bike, and same with Faust. They've added more stuff with Faust, but it's like, you know, now this is more of a properties problem with him. But you'll hit a skill ceiling with them. You've seen everything that the character has to offer, and then you'll get bored. You go back to like Exard, for example, and you may see more stuff with Bike, and Bike has way more tools, way more things you can play with. So the argument is always like, yeah, you can play long enough to see enough with the character and then get bored. DSP never really like acknowledges that, because he never makes it to that point. He played Street Fighter 6 for years and he never like learned anything. It kind of is like back in Street Fighter 5 where DSP never learned crush counters or anything like that. He never learned these mechanics in Street Fighter 5. He never cared for them. I mean, again, he doesn't really use drive impact in an interesting way either. It's always on reaction or whatever. I don't really recall him even using it in a way that's like, oh, he's using it. He uses drive rush, but it's always in service of a throw or a jab that will end in a throw anyway, or whatever.
Those are saying the game has the potential to last and evolve for a long time, especially if Arc Systems works further to refine the core mechanics, as they typically do with their games. The problem is, a lot of its mechanics are very complicated. They are not intuitive. A lot of characters have a gazillion options for offense and strategy. While the skill ceiling is very high, the floor is also high.
What?
The skill floor for just playing the game and seeing cool things happen is low because it's just button mashing, but actually competing requires you to have a significant amount of time and effort invested.
Wait, so you're telling me if I want to play this competitively, I would have to sink in more time to play it than if I were to play it casually? Wow! Oh my god! What a crazy statement! Holy shit! Whoa! Whoa, man! That's I don't know. This guy is like singing the Matrix. He's like, guys, hear me out. If you play the game longer, like if you want to play the game in a competitive level, you have to play more. I never would have thought that until that person said it. I mean, sure, DSP told us in the past when he was competing in tournaments with Super Turbo, he had to play a lot of Super Turbo to do that. But like that was just that's one thing. But now they required that in Modern Fighters. What happened, man? Like, what are we doing?
Investment. So as you may have figured out by this point, the reason that this is bad news is because you, Phil, fall neither into any of those two categories. I have to admit, it doesn't bode well for your coverage of the game.
Of course. Of course. What? How does he not fit into any of those? If he's right in the middle, wouldn't he be proficient in like mashing buttons and doing combos? Like, wouldn't he be able if he's in between those camps? Wouldn't he be at least more proficient? Because casual, if you're playing the game casually, implies you're not playing a lot. You're not gonna play this game a lot if you're playing casually. If you like DSP. Like I don't know. This is like a really nothing burger of a statement. Because it goes nowhere. Like, yeah, Phil, you're not like you don't play this game on a competitive level, and you also don't play it on a casual level. What the fuck is he then? Huh?
But maybe there will be some enjoyment you can get out of it. So, yeah, let's be honest here, okay? Let's be very honest here. I don't fall into the ultra casuals because I'm not an ultra casual. I try to play games at the very least at a level where I'm learning what the game is. I'm trying to learn more complicated strategies. I'm actually doing the combos manually. I'm not just mashing a button to get an auto combo. I'm inputting the combos like you're supposed to get optimal damage and things like that. I've played fighting games since I was a kid, so obviously I want to play it at a better level than just button mashing, right?
But everyone else is doing that. But again, you have to play the game more, right? Like, and how's he not a tryhard if he's learning the game? And he's trying to learn the combos and all this other, like, isn't that being a tryhard? Like, he's trying hard to find the most optimal routes? Isn't that what all these competitive players do? They try to learn optimal routes and their combos? Like, this is just really bizarre.
Here's the truth. I could sit
like,
here
it's just, you know what I think it is? Because I kind of do this too when I play fighting games, to be honest. It's just simply, you want to play a game, and you just want to do, like, a simple, like, I don't know how to describe it, because I don't do character trials. I mean, you can't really do it in Strive. I don't like the combo recipes, personally. And a lot of people will always show me, like, you don't do combo into super. You don't do good pressure combos. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I just hit, and whatever connects, and whatever. It's just kind of, I call it a vibe-based gameplay. It's like, whatever works, I go with. I don't care if I don't end on a super. It is what it is. Like, I play Robokai right now, and I don't really use the supers at all. I don't really use a lot of the supers. I think the only character I really kind of work using the supers with is like Jacko and Biken. But I don't really do a lot of combos that lead to supers, honestly. Because it's like I kind of don't remember. I can lab a combo out all day, and then I go online and it's like I don't fucking know. Okay, he's jumping forward punch. whatever, and it's whatever. Uh, and that's the kind of gameplay I do. I just kind of go with the flow, and that's kind of what he does. He just wants to learn like a bare bones route that can get him somewhere, and just react to other things. That's all he wants to do. And that's like whatever. But he's LARPing as if like he is some like, yeah, I'm just learning, guys. Like, I don't know, whatever. Like,
And,
the
and
most I do is I just, like, I go to the command list and I read the little description of each move. It's like, oh, this move is good on an opponent that's blocking low. It's like, okay. This guy is, it goes through characters that don't block low or whatever. It's like, okay, this is a good low attack. It's like, okay, that's good to know.
and
Oh yeah,
Mash
Millie's
and win
another character
online
I
in
could
this
do
game.
kind of
100%. I know I could because it's so easy to play. But I would get absolutely zero enjoyment out of doing that. Zero.
Why doesn't he show us that?
I would be
like,
bored to tears.
Okay, what he should do is he doesn't play the entire stream doing that, but he could do one match showing us, like, okay, watch this. And he starts doing auto combos. Like, see, guys, see how easy this is. Like, he should illustrate this. Like, I'm tired of him saying it's so easy doing auto combos. And it's like I don't think it's as easy as he thinks it is. Like, again, it's just he's really attached to the wording of auto combo. Like, yeah, you hear auto combo, you're gonna think it's easy. Like, it's like, it's like describing driving an automatic car. Like, yeah, to people who drive stick, it is easy. It is very easy to drive an automatic. But you also need to learn how to drive a car. Like, if I tell someone who never driven a car before, if I told like a 10-year-old, like, oh yeah, driving an automatic's very easy, they're just like, okay, and then they'll like just hop into a car and start driving. It's like, do you think the kid is gonna be able to drive if they don't know anything else about the car? Like, will he know how to read road signs, speed limits, the right of way, yielding, whatever? Like, he may know what a stop sign is. I mean, stop signs are very self-explanatory. But will he understand a four-way stop? Will he understand like right of ways? Will he like whatever? Like, will that person understand that? No. But if you just focus on automatic car, you're like, the person who's uneducated about driving is gonna think it's easy. Like, you can make anything sound easy with auto combos, but the thing that makes auto combos easy is the sense of like, you don't need to know a lot of execution or whatever, but you have to know how to apply them. You can't just throw an auto combo out and then win the match. Like, he really makes it sound as if it's like as if on fight, whoever presses the one button first wins, and it's like, that's not how it works, like, at all.
Saying, okay, mashing buttons just to get hits in and just to get combos in, and never actually, putting in the real inputs, the real motions, just doing all the easy motion, I would absolutely hate it. On the flip side, it seems to me, as this person has stated, that yes, in this regard, if you really want to play this game at any kind of a good level, you're going to have to invest an incredible amount of time and effort, which I don't have. I'm a variety streamer, right? I'm a variety guy. I'm going to be juggling this with many other games. I am not part of the FGC. I'm not known as part of the FGC or someone who covers fighting games extensively. Normally, I just cover them casually. There are some exceptions. For example, when Street Fighter 6 came out.
The thing that's insane about this, first off, notice we still haven't talked about the controversy of Tokon. Secondly, he wasn't gonna play this game longer. It is really insane how much we're talking about this game and its competitiveness when he wasn't gonna play this game in any meaningful way. Like, this dude is if this was Street Fighter 6, I would at least understand it. It's like, okay, yeah, he wants to play this game longer, or he's playing it for a year and whatever. But he wasn't gonna play Tokon for that long. Like, there's no way he would.
I played an incredible amount of Street Fighter 6. I got pretty good at it. I got tons of characters to master. But that was the difference. Is Street Fighter 6 is a head-to-head traditional fighting game. That's my forte. This style of team-based button-mashing, giant combo, one hit leads to 50% damage kind of game is not my forte. The most I ever played a game like that was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and that was in the early 2000s. I didn't really play Marvel 3. I hated it. I didn't really play Dragon Ball Fighter.
You got an early
so
copy.
The ones that would have...
Wait, what? Was that
That was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and that was in the early 2000s. I didn't really play Marvel 3. I hated it. I didn't really play Dragon Ball Fighters. So the ones that would have...
I'm just gonna say this. I kind of hate that DSP, like, accounts. Like, because he played these games. Because I know what he means. Like, yeah, he didn't play it in a meaningful capacity. He didn't play it outside of the launch window. So, like, he didn't truly play the game because he didn't play it longer than that. I get it. But it's just, you could just say, I only played at launch or whatever, or just say I played very casually, whatever. That gets the point across. I don't like this because I feel like eventually an outsider is going to be like, Phil, have you played Dragon Ball Fighters? And you're like, I did. And it's like, yeah, you did, buddy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just the wording is kind of annoying. Like, I know what he means, but again, I would say the same if it was anyone else, though. It's like, you have played it. Like, you did play it. Like, I played a lot of games I didn't finish. I played fighting games I didn't play any meaningful time. I wouldn't say I never played it. I would say, like, I played it, but I never really stuck with it. Like, that's like a normal statement. Like, I played Multi-Blood before, but I never stuck with it. I played Under Night, and I didn't stick with it as much as I would have liked, to be honest. But, you know, whatever.
Would have led to me being good at or liking this game. I didn't play. Okay? So you might say, well, that's not good. Well, let's continue because there's more that's happened during my days off. Are you ready for this? So, just going to continue. These are messages that I actually got. I just tuned into Maximilian's stream of the game out of curiosity. I saw that he's really struggling with the PC version. He was doing online play and the game was running pretty badly. Slowdown, stuttering, big rollback during most matches. Just not good. And he was commenting on it, baffled that there seems to be literally no way to...
It's funny. It's so funny. DSP didn't play the online in any meaningful capacity, so I'll be a little fair. A little tiny bit fair. But he played the beta, and people were saying the same thing during the beta as they were with this. He kept telling people, the game runs fine on my PC. My PC runs fine. And I even said this. It is so funny. All these games that infamous performance issues. Metal Gear Solid Delta, Beast Within, whatever the fuck the game that he's playing right now, Tokon, all these games, all of them, DSP was like, yeah, the game works fine on my rig. It's like, everyone else has these issues except for Phil. And now suddenly, miraculously, DSP has noticed these issues and everyone else is having these issues. Right now, this second. Like, dude, come on.
A way to actually reliably avoid these performance issues when you play this game online. From what I've been able to glean about this, the problem isn't netcode. The PS5 version doesn't seem to have any of these issues. The problem is with the game's performance, which is somehow exacerbated by the online play. If either player during a match has performance issues when you're playing online, the lag happens on both sides. The devs are still saying they're working on improvements, and there's no ETA yet on being able to fix this. Okay? Now, continuing on, this same person sent me a follow-up message and said, so the game is currently being review bombed on Steam due to the big performance issues that it's having. Meanwhile, Maximilian is doing a new stream, and it's titled Tokon PS5 version is great, WTF. So, you might say in light of...
What? Why is he
while Maximilian is doing a new stream, and it's titled Tokon PS5 version is great, WTF.
Why is he laughing at that? Because it is like, what the fuck? Like, why would it, like... When was the last time a fighting game did that? I mean, I'm assuming he's laughing because the title is funny, I guess. But don't worry. This is a precursor to what's to come. The stupidity is coming. It's buffering.
So you might say, in light of all of that, what just happened? Okay?
What
Well,
just
here's
happened?
what's happened. In the last 48 plus hours, the FGC has collectively decided they don't want to play Marvel Tokon on PC anymore. That the game runs.
I love it's like collectively decided. I mean, first off, if the game runs badly on PC and people like see it run badly, or they played the game and it runs badly, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, I don't think it's like that they decided, yeah, guys, fuck this. It's like, yeah, if the game doesn't work, they're gonna like migrate to a version that works. Kind of sounds like someone we know, right? Like the guy who bought Street Fighter 6 like 3 fucking times, and even then, like you could argue, like you. Well, no, it's bullshit because he kept claiming that like, oh, the PS5 version is the best version, and then the PC version is the best version, or whatever. He has yet to download the fighting game OS. Remember that fucking point? You fighting game OS.
Runs like shit when you play it online. And here's the problem. If you're doing crossplay and you're on PlayStation 5 and you play someone on PC, everyone gets lag. Everyone stutters, everyone rolls back, and everyone has a bad time. So what's actually happened is the FGC has collectively agreed we're all going to buy this game again on PS5, and we're all going to play it with crossplay disabled.
Look how he's gonna paint this, because again, like DSP is such a petty little bitch. When the FGC does anything, he will always put in negative. Again, like Nintendo, the Nintendo, FGC, Google, whatever. Like he will always like shit on them because this guy's a petty little bitch. Like again, he complained that Nintendo released games on Friday, by the way, which over time he decided that's pretty cool, man. Same with the digital presentations. Nintendo's so stupid for doing digital presentations. Fuck them. And everyone does it. Oh, digital presentations is the future. Fuck E3. Like that's how like petty DSP is. So of course the FGC are like reasonably deciding because these people like the game and they want to play the game in a proper setting. So they're gonna migrate to the PS5. But not only that, they're gonna turn off crossplay. Listen to how DSP talks about turning off crossplay. Get a load of this.
So the lag won't be present for those playing it on PS5. Also, for the record, the FGC tried to not charge back, but refund the game on Steam.
Wait, people are okay. Actually, I'm getting a little bit. I'll jump a little bit ahead about this. So you saw him do a little mock think that he does a lot, where he's like, "Oh my god, so they're gonna turn crossplay off." I just want everyone to remember when he played Street Fighter 6 on the PlayStation 5, DSP would turn off crossplay because he believed, he tricked himself into thinking the PC players are all cheating because they're using fighting game OS. They have, I don't know, programs. I don't fucking remember what he said, but he was really like going ham, accusing the PC players of cheating. I think it was like, oh, they have high refresh rates, so they get to react faster and whatever macros and all kinds of bullshit. So he would turn off crossplay all the time on the PS5 version. It is so funny. It is so fucking funny. And now he's like, they're turning off crossplay because PC has problems? What a bunch of idiots.
And the vast majority of players have been denied because if you play a fighting game...
Yeah, but of course they're gonna request refunds and attempt it and then get denied. Like, oh my god, guys, they're trying to refund. Do they not know about the 2-hour... They probably know. They probably think that maybe they're gonna make an exception because this is such a big problem, which they may do. This may be a big thing where they may say, okay, so like with the circumstances there, we will grant the refunds. Like, that's all that's going on here. But whatever.
Game.
Again, DSP has a fetish of sounding smarter than everyone else. So since everyone tried to request a refund just to try to see what would happen, he's like, these people are doing this. Guys, they don't know this, but Steam has a 2 hour. Like, he loves sounding like he's like a fucking smartass. This is the guy you would like shove in a locker. The nerds would help the bullies shove this guy in a locker. That's the kind of person DSP is. The nerds would join forces with bullies to shove him in a locker.
You likely are going to play it more than 2 hours. So everyone who played this game on launch day played it more than 2 hours, and all of their refunds are denied. No one has been able to get a refund who played it past 2 hours, without exception. Like, no one's getting their money back because they're like, no, the rule is 2 hours, and you all played the hell out of it on launch day. So even if it doesn't perform well, too bad you played it too long. So no one can get a refund. Okay?
Okay, wow.
Now, we're going to talk about this right now because I have a very strong opinion about this, okay?
Very
First
strong.
off, thank you to
It's a very
SMG,
strongly dented
who did
response.
400
It's
kicks.
like so
Let's get that on the
insane.
leaderboard. It was for 100
Like, I
kicks,
kind of can't
separately
believe
there.
the route he goes. It's like insane.
Thank you for that.
Like, I don't know what's going on in that brain of his, but he takes like innocuous
And then
things
I got
and
$1.50
goes
from
on like
saying you should play a few fights just button mashing
unhinged
mindlessly and win.
rants.
No, I don't want to. Here's the point. I don't want to do that. I just literally told you I could do it and win. I know I could. The game is brainless. You can literally go online, just wait, mash attacks, call out an assist, wait, mash attacks, call out an assist, wait, mash attacks, call out assist. That's the game. I would have zero fun doing that. I would rather not play it ever again than do that because I'm an actual fighting game player. I'm not a brainless twit. I'm not a mouth drooler. I play games to enjoy them and to be entertaining. No
Okay,
hearted. Also for 100 kicks.
We're gonna move forward from that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that because
And
Yeah,
now
because he knows
SMG
it's
did
not-
another
it's
100,
bullshit
so
what
thank
he's
you for
saying.
that. Okay. So,
Like, why didn't you
Hold
just do
on.
it for one match just to see, and then be like, "Oh, do you guys see how stupid
excuse
this
me.
is?"
Belch came out of nowhere. I wanted them to mute it. So, with everything that we just said, okay, I want you to think about this very logically.
Here we go.
And from a
stupid
standpoint, in regards to everything that's been going on recently in video games in
Stupid alert! Stupid alert! What you're gonna hear is something stupid.
general, okay? Excuse me. It was just about a month ago, a little over a month ago now, that Sony publicly announced their desire and or intention to completely phase out physical games media starting in 2028. They outright said we will no longer create physical copies of games at all starting in 2028. The future is digital. Grand Theft Auto 6 announced we will not make any physical copies whatsoever of GTA 6. It will be a digital-only game.
Okay.
And what happened when those announcements came out?
Like, look how dumb already this is. Just, we are talking about Tokon. Marvel Tokon and the controversy with how it performs. And he is forcing another fucking rant about the Sony boycott. This has nothing to do with Tokon. First off, the people are like, Maximilian dude didn't even talk about the boycott. I don't even think he even said, yeah, I'm gonna join the boycott. First off, that's like number one. Number two, people just saying, secondly, people are calling for a boycott. They're just either suggesting people should boycott or just saying, like, oh, people should boycott, whatever. There are going to be people that are just not going to buy Sony anymore. They may buy stuff on PC. They may migrate to PC, whatever. Like, that's all that's going to happen. Like, if the boycott's going to be anything material, if anything's going to happen, like, I wouldn't necessarily say, like, boycotts wouldn't work, but I just don't think that this boycott's going to mean anything. At most, it's just going to lead to Sony doing what they're probably going to do and phase consoles out because they're probably going to work on a streaming service or whatever the fuck. But, like, it is completely irrelevant to even talk about boycotts about the Tokon controversy. Like, there's no connection here. Because again, all Maximilian did was just talk about the fucking news, saying, "Oh, they're doing this. They're probably doing this because of all the shit that's going on in the world today, with the tariffs, with the supply chains that are getting destroyed. All this stuff that's going on is gonna trickle down to higher fees that companies are gonna not want to do. So they're gonna like, well, we'll just do it digitally." And whatever. Like that's all that's going on with this. Uh like that's all that's going on. It's just a reaction to the stuff that's going on here, right? That's it. That's all he said. He never said, "Yeah, I'm gonna join the boycott." No one has said this, and the people who are saying it, like, they're probably not gonna buy stuff, let's assume. And it may or may not even matter. Like, again, I think what's gonna happen first is games are gonna be too expensive, and people are probably just not going to buy them on day one. Like, that's probably what's gonna happen. As far as Sony games are gonna be concerned, people are probably gonna save up to buy a PC and then just buy stuff on Steam. That is probably what's gonna happen. And I think what honestly should happen if things are gonna be in a more digital future, I think what's gonna end up happening is we may see more regulations in the sense of mandating a path for a refund for companies, and stuff like that. That may happen before that we require physical releases or whatever. Like, there's more stuff going on with this than like just look at a boycott on the surface. Like, if you believe that boycotts work or don't work, that's here or there. Uh, I mean, I'm kind of in the middle. I think it's kind of nuanced in terms of like what people are willing to boycott. I think people could boycott Sony games realistically because there's just other ways to experience games. There's other ways you could buy games. There's other ways you can uh enjoy the hobby. Like, you don't like already people are like are willing to move on almost. But there's also just enough people that are gonna buy Marvel Wolverine, buy GTA 6. I said about GTA 6 as well that I think this is gonna sell well. I think the next Rockstar game may not sell as well. It will sell good enough, but it's not gonna sell as well as GTA 6, and I think a lot of people are gonna be more jaded when it comes to that. That's all that's gonna happen. But I'm not gonna like put stock or weight behind a successful boycott in terms of people being upset. That DSP does all the time. Like, yeah, there are like disingenuous outrage from people, sure, and performative bullshit. But I just don't think, as far as like, if I'm talking about something, I'm not gonna necessarily like cast a wide net on everyone. Like it is what it is.
Everyone was up in arms. Everyone collectively on the internet got their pitchforks and torches out and said,
Pitchforks.
"No, we want physical. The future is physical. You don't own anything."
Yeah, people with pitchforks, they do this. They just do this. This is more like they milk udders. Like, I don't know. Like, but again, I just want to highlight, this is insanity because the controversy has nothing to do with boycotts. He is forcing this because of one group saying boycott Sony. People who care about physical release. Again, the people who care about physical releases are probably not gonna buy the game digitally. Like, because again, if you look at the there's evidence, like these people love talking about sales charts. There are sales charts that are global, by the way, because I think domestically it may skew a little bit, but if you look globally, physical has outsold digital all the time. Like, if you just look at it traditionally, that physical has always outsold digitally. Like, that's why you see some people talk about digital sales, and it's all skewed. It's all skewed data and all this other shit. But this guy will just look at bullshit and be like, "Oh, see this." But people do care about physical. But not all of them are as vocal as people who are calling for boycotts, talking about boycott this, boycott that. But like, these people are just saying shit. Like, people can say that things should be boycotted and all that stuff. Doesn't really mean that they have the mobility or the authority to get people to rally behind them. And this shit is so annoying that he keeps trying to delegitimize people who care about physical. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. This isn't even relevant to Tokon. Like, let's listen to this nonsense at the start.
Everyone was up in arms. Everyone collectively on the internet got their pitchforks and torches out and said, no, we want physical. The future is physical. You don't own anything if you can't own it physically. You know what I'm saying? Everyone went nuts.
And that's true, though. That is true. I mean, you can even argue technically, even if you don't own it, even if you buy it physically, you don't own the license and all this shit. But again, he is like sleeping at the wheel. Like, you know, on one end, I do think that a lot of people are like, talking about physical. They're kind of like omitting the that buying stuff digitally and downloading it is very like convenient in like the nature of it. And I think what is truly like the problem with all of this at the end of the day, when you get to the bottom of it, is just this temperance or this temporary lack of permanence, I should say, uh, behind when you buy something digitally. Like, I can understand streaming, like streaming shows and stuff like that being not permanent, but I always said, if it can go beyond streaming, just sell it. Just let it be that I could buy the thing and own it then, like, whatever. But it should be that when you buy something, you own it, period. Whatever, like, you own that copy and all that kind of stuff. Like, that is, I think, the heart of this whole issue when you boil it down. But DSP is not like smart. He's a fucking dumb fuck that will like suck on the boots of corporate CEOs as much as he larps as I don't like the CEOs. He will always run defense for them whenever he can, if it makes sense to. Like he does this because the moment people discovered about the license shit, this guy was
actually, you don't own it. It's a license.
all the time. Because he loves sounding smart. So he sounds very smart when you say, well, you don't own it for real, guys. You know that, right? And it's like, dude, why didn't you just drink a couple of buckets of paint? And tell me what you think it tastes like. Like, it's just so annoying to listen to that. And he thinks it's endearing and cool and smart. It's just, shut the fuck up. You're not even, like, contributing anything logical. Again, the fact that we're like shoving in this rant in a thing about tokon, like, it's very clear that the people in the FGC don't give a fuck because they just want to play a fucking game. Hello? Like, that's why it's like, and DSP, I love that DSP says this shit, but then, like, in the previous rants about physical and digital, he was like, yeah, you talk to the working man about the video game boycotts, and they'll look at you like, what are you talking about? I'm struggling to find shelter for my family or some bullshit like that. Like, yeah, of course. The FGC also just wants a fighting game. Yeah, like, there's a lot of people who bitch about Marvel, but guess what they're gonna be buying, right? Marvel Tokon or Marvel Wolverine or whatever. But it's like, there's a lot of nuance and a lot of shit when you talk to certain people. Like, there's performative outrage, but DSP loves talking about the performative people so much that it's just not fun listening to. It's like, come on.
Everyone was anti-Sony. Everyone said, we're boycotting Sony because of this. This is absolutely atrocious. We're not going to play anything on PlayStation. We're not going to buy PlayStation games. We're not going to, right? Across the board, it was a huge agreement that this was bad. Everyone dislikes this change and this idea that Sony has. Everyone is anti-Sony. So here we are. It is now.
By the way, DSP was anti-lazy collections and all this stuff. Guess what he bought a lot of? Lazy collections. He doesn't like Nintendo's business practices. Guess what he does? He buys Nintendo products. Wow, he doesn't like scalpers. He was Mr.
I don't like scalpers. Scalpers are terrible. They're ruining hobbies.
Cue in the, gotta get my Pokemon cards. Ooh, that fucking clip. Play that clip. Then watch him do pack rips and him talk about buying from scalpers. Like, fuck off, dude. You're no better than these other people who are either hypocrites or they're not or they're performative. He is the most performative though. Like honestly, even the people who are performative in them wanting to boycott shit, they have more they're more genuine than this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. DSP is more performative than them. Because this guy he's only saying this shit just because he wants to sound smart. The people I mean, even on just on this basis of boycotting Sony and all this stuff, were any of these people the FGC? Were there any overlap? Because the people I've seen talk about the boycott are just accounts that are either accounts that talk about like other media that are like that actually talk more about artistic value in movies and stuff like that. People who like who don't play games just to sit down and have fun, right? Like they play because they like being challenged by some artistic expression. Some games they play other indie games. They don't care for AAA stuff. Whatever. The kind of people DSP LARPs as. Like
I play meaningful games.
that kind of gamer, that kind of person, right? Like me, like that. Like, I play a lot of like a variety of games, and I do think that there is like I would like I kind of am like, yeah, after GT6, I don't think I'm gonna either go back and play any other Rockstar game or buy the games day one at least. I may buy them on sale or wait a while. I don't care, whatever. I mean, I'm not even sure I'm gonna even buy a PS6 at this point because I don't think it's gonna be worthwhile, right? Like there's all these things where I'm already like debating just sticking to other hobbies, right? Uh, but he is complaining about all this shit as if no one has any value or any backbone or any like opinion. And it's like if no, it's like he's really expecting that people who say boycott Sony is gonna like convince the entire planet, everyone, to boycott with them. Like, I'm saying all this stuff about my viewpoints on like gaming and this and that. I'm very much aware that I cannot convince everyone to join me in whatever the fuck, because that's not how society works. Not everyone's gonna like march to everyone's drum or whatever. Like that's just how it is sometimes. And you can be critical about that all you want, but this is just it serves no point, and it's really like out of nowhere. Again, we are talking about Tokon, right? And the issues with the way the game performs. And he wants to bring up how people are hypocritical for shitting on Sony. Meanwhile, they're gonna play the games on PlayStation. But this is a community of the FGC who are not interested in that because they just want to play a fighting game for the most part. And even then, there might be people even within the FGC that are not gonna buy the game again. Like, it's so stupid. And he's basing this off of like account. Presumably accounts like Maximilian Dube who bought the game again on PlayStation. But you think Maximilian Dude is the guy that's organizing these boycotts and championing boycotts and all this stuff? No, he may say that, oh well, people are gonna boycott, or say, oh, they're doing whatever. He can say that, but that's not him like endorsing or saying I'm doing this now. Like, come on.
Now, early August, a month later, Marvel Tokon comes out. The entire FGC buys the game on PC. By the way, the game is published by Sony. These same people who had their pitchforks and torches and
The same people. Are they the same people? Like, I hate when he does this shit because at this point, when they raise their pitchforks, I want to see these accounts. DSP needs to show us these accounts. Like, show us the evidence. I don't believe that the FGC, the people who bought Tokon, are the same people who are talking about boycotting Sony. Call me crazy. I don't think they're the same people. Like, come on. You think the same people who bought fucking Black Ops are the same people who want a fucking boycott or whatever, or who talked about a boycott? No, probably not. Probably not.
we're all upset They all
And
ran
again,
out.
this is the same guy who goes on and on and on about how other people need to boycott Nintendo. They need to stop buying Pokemon games. They need to do this, as he also buys new Pokemon games. But again, like, the FGC bought Tokon because, guys, get this. They probably just want another fighting game so that they can play and then enjoy, right? Like, it's dumb. It's so stupid what he's talking about. And childish. And insane. It's just he really wanted this conversation for some reason when that's not what anyone is talking about.
Out and bought Marvel Tokon in droves because it's Marvel, baby. It's the new Marvel game. But
Now, go a few weeks or so before Marvel Tokon came out. This dude was like, Marvel Tokon's coming, guys. We got Spider-Man, Brand New Day. We got Marvel Tokon. We got Doomsday. And then, like, also, he wanted to do Marvel cards to tie in to to Spider-Man, Brand New Day, and all this other stuff. Like, this right here is peak projection. Like, honestly, DSP is the king of projection. Like, he does it the most. Like, it is like, it's almost like a cartoonish example of what projection is. If you're a psychiatrist, or whatever, or a psychologist, whatever, an up and coming guy in that field, this guy is like the model of sour grapes, projection, narcissism. Like, he encapsulates that and more. It is crazy.
But they ran out and bought it on PC. Guess what? The game sucks on PC. It plays like shit. It won't run well online. There's rollback, there's stutter, there's problems. So what did they do? They said, oh, let's buy it again on PlayStation 5. And let's set it now crossplay off so anyone who has it on PC can't even find anyone to play.
That's it. Right there. It is so... He did that himself. He turned off crossplay when he was on PS5 and Street Fighter 6. And that's their prerogative. Secondly, this is the FGC. They wanted Marvel Tokon. They wanted to play this game. It didn't work on PC. What do you think they're gonna do? Eat it? No, they're gonna be like, well, yeah, it's a waste of money, but I do want to play this game. I like the game. And they're gonna buy it again. Like, I like Skullgirls. Guess what I ended up doing, guys? I bought the game multiple times. I like Strive. I didn't buy Strive multiple times because it was on Game Pass on Xbox when I did the Dark Side Theo Strive video, whatever. I bought it. I did buy it again on Switch because I just wanted to see how that game would look on the Switch. And that's it. I didn't buy the game. No, because I think that. Yeah, I think the digital version of Strive like gave you the PS5 version as well. Same with the disc, but whatever, you know what I mean? But I know I bought Street Fighter 6 2 times. Because I got on disc because I wanted that art book in the collector's edition. Then I bought it again so I could just have it digitally so I don't have to like fucking pop in the disc. And I kind of don't like how the PS5 like every time I pop it in it would show the PS4 version with the PS5 version. So it's like that nonsense. So that's whatever. But people will do that. Sometimes people will just waste money, and they understand that. DSP wasted money too. He bought the game multiple times. He bought games multiple times before. Like I don't think Street Fighter 6 is the first time he did that either. Like he wasted money too. The FGC again has no opinion. They may say, like, oh, it's stupid that Sony is getting rid of physical, which is, like, normal. Like, everyone is gonna say it's stupid. Like, it's up to the person if they want to support Sony after the fact or whatever. Doesn't make their criticism any less valid. It's so stupid. And this is the guy that says, if you're gonna hate my streams, at least watch my streams, or whatever the fuck. And then if you watch the stream and complain, he will still cry about it and say, well, you watch the stream, or whatever the fuck. It's so stupid. It's, like, insane. Like, all of this is insane. I kind of don't understand what was the point of this. other than it's another opportunity for DSP to go after the FTC and try to say that they're a bunch of idiots. Which is like, man, I really wonder why the FTC should always hate him. Like, I'm sorry. If DSP wants the FTC to warm up to him or not see him as a negative, maybe don't go on these dumb fuck rants that come off ignorant. Like, this sounds completely ignorant to what is even going on in the FTC community.
Because we want our Marvel and we don't care about any repercussions or our behavior. We just want Marvel. Okay? So I want you to think about this.
And again, like DSP like supports Nintendo, and what does he hide behind? Guys, I am a content creator and I need to stream this so you guys know what's up. Blah 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 blah. I need to buy Pokemon games. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to support their bad business practices because I'm a streamer. But the FGC has more reason to be involved in fighting games because first off, they run tournaments, right? So they may need to get invested with Marvel Tokon so they can be current on the tournament scene. So if you want to play the game at a tournament, they would have to have a copy of that, right? Like whatever. They're always gonna be doing this because that's just what they do. Hello, and he will always mock this, but the FGC has just as much of an excuse for why DSP buys Nintendo products. Like for all intents and purposes, he should just skip Switch 3. He shouldn't buy their console anymore. He doesn't enjoy their games. He never likes them at any point. He always like belabored how it's a waste of money to buy Nintendo. Yet he buys Nintendo anyway. So like why does the FTC have to be concerned with rewarding bad business practices or whatever the fuck when DSP can blow through that easily and not think about it? Oh, well, other people should boycott. Like, imagine that. I guess that's what the FTC should say. They should start saying that. Well, we're the FTC. We can buy games whenever the fuck we want or whatever. But again, like, he's only doing this so he could shit on the FTC. This is nothing more than that. It's not genuine. It's disingenuous. It's such garbage.
Logically, we just said to Sony, we don't want a digital future. And then a month later, you bought Marvel Tokon twice because it didn't work.
And secondly, you realize that Marvel Tokon is also sold physically, so they could, buy the game physically to show Sony, hey, see, we love physically. We bought the game again, but physically. I mean, they probably bought digitally to be honest, but you know what I mean. Like the game is still sold physically, and again, it doesn't matter because and also this is right after Sony just literally said we don't care. We're gonna barrel through. We're gonna still go with this all digital future. So like DSP talked about this.
See, Sony doesn't care about boycotts and this and that.
So what if like the FTC was like, well, also they don't care. Who cares? We'll buy digitally. But again, he wants to conflate the FTC with the people who talk about boycotts because he just wants the FTC to look stupid because he hates them. Like, this is the same shit that he was like,
the FTC hates me because of the things in the past that's out of context.
And all this stuff, but he still holds the FTC accountable for stuff that happened in the past. Because again, you could argue the FTC now is different from the FTC then. So, like, he is still shitting on the FTC, which can be filled with people who are not even relevant to DSP and why they hate DSP. So, let's say you're an up-and-coming FTC guy, right? You're in the FTC, you're brand new, you never heard of DSP or whatever, and you're like, okay. And then you turn to this guy, and he's like, the FTC are a bunch of idiots, they do this, look how stupid they are. You're gonna be like, what the fuck did I do? Wow, fuck this guy. This guy's an idiot. And then he's like, they're calling me stupid and out of touch. Yeah, this rant is completely out of touch. He's so out of touch with anything. It's like, it is so funny how out of touch he is. It's like insane. Like he's as out of touch as a fucking boomer. I think my mom might be more in touch with gamers than DSP. Like my mom is more in touch. She's more in the know of anything than he is.
What? How fucking stupid are you? Really? The game.
See how happy he said it? How fucking stupid! He fucking wet his diaper after he said that. He probably got off on that. He's like, oh my god, I get to call the FGC stupid again. Oh boy.
Game doesn't work on PC. No one can figure out why. So you went and you bought it again?
You bought the game on a console that it works on? Are you stupid? You just maybe they just want to buy a version of the game that works so they can play the game they like. You know, like, I mean, that is an option. That is an option. Like, it sucks. Like, and again, it's a video game. Like, it's not like you bought a car and it's like, oh, I have a flat tire. Damn. I'll buy the car again. I'll buy a brand new car. Like, it's not like that where it's like, what are you doing? Why are you buying a fucking car for one tire or whatever? It's a fucking video game. And secondly, again, like I've said this a lot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But the FGC did not propagate the boycott on Sony or anything. They may say they don't like the practice, but they also understand that like they want to play Tokon. Second, and also again, Sony made it pretty clear they don't care about physical, digital, whatever. So you know, one could rationalize that boycotts won't matter. I think what's gonna matter more is not the boycott necessarily, but I think people are just not gonna buy the PS6. I mean, already the cost of gaming is exploding in cost. People are saying that it's not gonna go down, it's not gonna get better anytime soon, or whatever. So it's like, I don't think anyone's gonna buy a PS6 anyway. So I think that's what's gonna end up happening. And Xbox might capitalize on the disc shit, but I think even but I don't know. I'm not very I'm very cynical on Xbox, Doob. But that's, I think, what's gonna end up happening. So what's going on now? People buying games, whatever. Like, I don't think it's gonna matter in the grand scheme of things. I think the next console is gonna be the breaking point, and that may sell good too. Like, again, you can think all you want and speculate, but again, this is a big planet, and there are a lot of people, and there's a lot of people who are willing to part with their money. Like, that's why we're still seeing Marvel turn out movies over and over, and all this stuff. Like, they're just doing it. It's come on, like, some boycotts work. I just think it's the market that dictates how successful a boycott would work, right? I don't think it's gonna necessarily be every product, every market a boycott's gonna be reasonable, right? Like, again, it's all like nuance. But DSP is a little baby. He's a little baby. He's like a baby with a boomer brain. Maybe even beyond boomer.
And this is the company you strongly criticized, citing they're ruining gaming's future because they want to go all digital. You said you were going to boycott them.
Who?
And now you bought their exclusively published game
Who said
twice
this?
because you need to play Marvel.
Again, DSP always hates people putting words in his mouth, as he is putting words in the mouth of an entire community. You realize the FGC isn't a fucking monolith, right? Like, there are people in the FGC that don't like Strive that play Xrd, and then there's also people in the FGC who like Strive and don't like Xrd. Like, there's all kinds of people in the FGC. It's not a monolith. And this guy but he loves talking down to people. It's his fetish. He gets off on it. He's like, oh my god, the FGC, you're so fucking stupid. Oh my god. I bet when he's like in bed with his fucking dumb fuck wife, he's not like talking to her. He's like, oh, fucking FGC, you're fucking stupid. Oh my god, everyone's an idiot. I'm so smart. I'm so nuanced. I'm amazing. But everyone else is a fucking idiot. Right, Cat?
Because you're a hype beast in the FGC.
Why are you buying Pokemon cards? Why are you buying Marvel cards, Phil?
These people are not very intelligent, folks. They're not. It's just the honest truth about the modern
They're
FGC.
really, you know what? It is that meme. That meme, I think, is gonna live in forever. Where it's like a guy that's like happy, like I'm enjoying this thing, wow, and then it's like a guy that's like, I fucking hate you people. You should fucking die or whatever. That's DSP. Like the FGC is like playing Tokon, they're enjoying it, whatever, and DSP is like, fucking, oh my god, fucking hate you people. When all they're doing is just playing a game. Because he's conflating the people who talk about these fucking boycotts and stuff like that with a community that may or may not even talk about it. And again, they're not a monolith. Like, there could be people in the FGC that are as vocal about Sony that are not buying the game. And all this other stuff. But these people wouldn't know that because he is not in the FGC as much as he likes to tell us, right? So what's he basing this off of? Who? He's talking as if he's in the FGC, but then he's like, I'm not in the FGC. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know the drama. Yet he knows that they all talk about the boycott. They're all in agreement to boycott Sony, but then they're buying Sony games and all this stuff. What are you talking about? Like, and again, I want to highlight this has nothing to do with a tokon controversy.
See, it's this simple. They need hype. They need to jump on hype bandwagons. They realize that the FGC is a weaker community than many other communities out.
They're a weak community. So then, I want to let's outline this. So there should be a boycott on Sony. That's what the FGC said. But at the same time, but they're rewarding Sony for digital only. But they're also a weaker community as well. So if they're weak, how are they being the strong signal to support Sony's endeavor on an all digital future if they're a weak community that can be taken down very easily? Also, there's still a lot of games in the FTC, and the sad part is, dude, you know that the cost of travel is going up. There's a lot of people who don't like Saudi Arabia, for a lot of reasons, a lot of reasons. So they may not go to Saudi Arabia, to the Saudi Evo and whatever. Sure, there's like, it's not like zero people are going there, but you don't know if it's that is why Evo numbers are down, or is it the cost of travel is going down. I mean, overall, just in general, I mean, even outside of Evo, the cost of travel is going up. And there's all this uncertainty with traveling to other countries, other states, whatever. So there's already like a shaken foundation on travel. So you think that people are gonna willingly travel if there's all these little wrenches thrown into the mix? Or are they gonna remain in their locals? So the numbers in these tournaments are going to go down naturally. They're going to go down to a percentage. Like, it may not be huge, but maybe big enough in comparative to their other years. But DSP is going to say, see guys, see how the FGC is crumbling. They need hype. When it's like there's outside factors that are causing this. It's the same thing with everything. But people like DSP just do not think externally, where there's all these other factors at play, and not all these factors are the same for everyone. Some people may just not want to go anymore. Some people, like, whatever. Everyone has their own view, reason, whatever. So it's really stupid that he's like,
and the FTC is not really smart, and you realize that they're hypebeasts. They need this.
But they were able to survive without Marvel. Like, they had Street Fighter 6, they have Strive. Like, these games are still pretty popular. Like, Strive is going on. Like, people are still saying that it's, like, outlasting what they thought. Like, all this stuff. They're still, like, supporting these games for a long period of time. And so this is kind of unfound to say that the FGC is a weak community. it's a it's in nature a niche community. All these communities, guys, get this. All these game communities are all niche communities. Like think about that. You think that a lot of people like the only big communities is like Mario, but there's not really a Mario community. It's just Mario. But even then, when you look at these diehard Mario fans, they are in their own way a Mario community that a lot of people mock sometimes. So communities in nature are niche. They're niche, typically. Uh, that's like it's just that's how it is. That's why you always see people talk about like, wow, the fan base of this show is crazy. Guys, the Steven Universe fan base are crazy. But it's like, does that reflect to the show? No, these are just people who form a community and like they're just uh talking about whatever, and then they do their own version of gatekeeping. They do whatever. Like you just see these fringes because that's just the nature of a community. You will see just all these extremes in a small group of people, and then a subdivision of that same community. Basically, like it's all over the place. But because also, no one's a monolith. No one is a monolith. People like Guilty Gear, they're not a monolithic creature. People like Street Fighter, they're not monolithic. Fighting game community is not monolithic because guess what? Even within the fighting game community, there are people who love Mortal Kombat and also people who hate Mortal Kombat. Yet they're in the same community. It's so stupid. This is such a stupid rant.
Out there because there aren't a lot of games. There's not a lot of competition. It's harder to get into competitive FGC and make it stick. The tournaments are getting stale and boring. Street Fighter 6 has lost a ton of its momentum outside of Japan. And in Japan, Street Fighter 6 is the shit. Outside of Japan,
I don't know if that's the case in Japan, but Street Fighter 6 lost its luster literally just because the patches have done nothing. It didn't rock the tier list enough. It's not doing much of anything. Like that's why I'm like I said this, and I think I said this either in the last video or whatever that I think Strive. I would even argue Strive does better with patches. Like they take more risks with their patches, for better or for worse. I mean, I'm not gonna say that every patch has been great, but they've taken more risks with their game comparatively to the market. I don't think 2.0. A lot of people hyped up 2.0 of Strive as a big update. I don't think it's as big as a lot of people said it is, but it did enough that was like, okay, this is actually like there is something here. There is something fun about this. There's nerfs that I think are generally good nerfs. I think the Abba nerf with the when you run out of jealousy meter is a good nerf. Like that's good. That's a good nerf. But whatever.
outside of Japan, people's sentiment is the game is too samey. It hasn't updated. It hasn't changed. It hasn't improved. It's boring. So they were strongly relying on Marvel Tokon to be a hype monster.
Were they? That people were like, I think more. These people were complaining about Street Fighter 6. They're not saying, okay, guys, Street Fighter 6 sucks, but guys, we got Marvel. Like he's acting as if like, as if the fighting game community is like a country that has a very rocky economy right now, and is like, guys, we need Marvel to like be the leader. Like as if like. As if Marvel Tokon is the upcoming presidential candidate for the FTC. Guys, Marvel Tokon may change the fighting community and may bring us a prosperity. And then it's like Marvel Tokon gets elected. He's Marvel Tokon is the president of the FGC right now. But then you find out that he's a fucking scammer, and he has these inside buddies, and it's bullshit, and everyone is now like, guys, we're gonna be homeless now. Fucking Marvel Tokon's taking the homes away. like that's how he's talking about this, when all in reality, all we were saying about Street Fighter 6 is it's whatever, it's kind of stagnant, and whatever. The community is not gonna go anywhere because the community in general is ambiguous. It's a wide thing that's not like a tangible thing. Like people who are not even like actively going to tournaments, playing modern games, would still consider themselves in the FGC. and sometimes they may not. It's whatever. It's whatever you want to make of it.
Monster, especially with the fact that we just had Spider-Man Brand New Day break box office records as the highest grossing domestic film ever. And now we've got the new Avengers Doomsday coming out later this year. They are banking on the fact that this game is coming.
Again, this is fucking projection. He literally was milking these movies just as much as he's claiming the FGC were.
Guys, I'm getting these Marvel cards. It's gonna like tie in perfectly to Brand New Day
And Doomsday and all this other bullshit. And also, this dude was like,
okay, Bethesda, you just put out Fallout Season 2. Where's Fallout 3? You should have put out a Fallout game. Guys, why are you capitalizing on the show? Capitalize on the show. Guys, let's capitalize on the show.
this dude wanted to like ride the wave of Fallout. Because like I think he played Fallout 2. No, Fallout 4. He would never play Fallout 2. What am I talking about? He played. What did he play? The Fallout 4 remaster. Was it season 1 or season 2 of the Fallout show? Regardless, he literally played it to line in with the game, and he also get this, guys. He did a review series of the Fallout show to fall in line with the show. Like, this guy also guys, get this. He also only wants to play new games when they're relevant. Again, he is saying this is a negative to the FGC when he himself has done the same thing. He wants to play these new games at release, just because they're at release. All this shit, just like all these other people. But when the FGC does it, but he's accusing the FGC of doing this, and it's bad. But tell DSP to skip new releases and see what he tells you. See what he tells you. Or tell him he should play a game that was new that he missed. Not Metaphor. He's gonna hide by the demo. Don't pick that one. Pick another big game that he skipped, and then see what he says.
I can't play it because like it's not relevant. No one wants to see the game anymore.
Like, that was like the thing he said about Hades too.
I played it in early access, and no one wants to see it anymore. It's not relevant anymore.
Like, it's such a load of shit. By the way, this dude is definitely on Ozempic. Look at the fucking wedding ring. The wedding ring doesn't even look like it fits anymore. It looks so like compare the hand of the wedding ring, or as he calls it, the wedding band.
Coming out at the right time to create hype for the FGC and try to get them prominent. So, God forbid the game actually sucks at launch and you admit it and you say, wait a minute, we just got ripped off, whether it's Arxis, whether it's Sony, whether it's Warner Bros., we got ripped off by a badly produced game that runs like crap online, which is the main reason.
But it ran crap on PC, but on PlayStation. So, like, that's why they bought it again. Hello?
Reason people buy fighting games. And instead of saying, hey, let's have some balls for once, and let's not play it, let's boycott it, let's actually be sensible about it.
But you know what? I remember there was a tournament of sorts, an Evo, if you will, where there was like a version of like Street Fighter 2 that a lot of FGC people just really didn't like, to the point where they did this thing called a boycott, and they just didn't participate in the tournament because they didn't like the version. But then there was this other up-and-coming guy that did that tournament, and then got 4th place, and then said the FGC were a bunch of pussies for not competing because they didn't want to learn a new version of the game, or this other version of the game, or whatever the fuck. So, when they boycotted a version of a game that ran like shit, he said it was stupid and they were dumb and pussies and babies. Like, he like shat on them for doing that boycott. now there's a version that's better than the PC version, but now it's wrong for them to buy the version that is like the version that works. Huh. I wonder why DSP seems to hate when they boycott something but love when they uh but hate that they're not boycotting. It's almost like he just wants to find a reason to hate on them. I mean, sure, the rationale is a little different, but in general, you really think, let's say the FTC decides, yeah, let's boycott Tokon, right? Let's say they boycott Tokon, and Arxis decides we're not gonna fix the game at all or whatever the fuck. You think DSP is gonna be like,
Well, guys, they boycott Tokon. You know what? The FTC stood up for their beliefs, guys.
they played a shitty version and they didn't buy it? No. What's end up gonna happen? What's gonna end up happening is there might be an instance where a Marvel game gets canceled, or a Marvel game doesn't get ported anymore, or whatever, or just in general, like, Tokon does not get talked about or whatever. He's gonna say,
Guys, the FTC, so instead of like buying the version that worked, they decided to boycott like a bunch of babies, and now Tokon is not getting any support, and now the game is dead. It's fucking bullshit. Why don't they just buy the game that works? What a bunch of idiots.
because DSP loves going against the FGC because he's a fucking baby. He called himself the Edward Snowden of the FGC. And it's like all he wants to do is be the opposition to the FGC. If the FGC says the sky is blue, he's gonna be,
actually it's purple, stupid.
he'll always say the other thing because he hates the FGC for petty reasons, for things that not even the current FGC do anymore or care about
This and say this doesn't make sense for us to actually, play or spend money on because it's not a good product. They said, let's buy it a second time on a different platform instead. And they're pushing for it too. Like, there's creators who are saying, oh, this is better on PS5. Go buy it on PS5.
Who are these creators? Name them. I know Maximilian didn't do that. He said, oh, well, at most he probably said, well, if you want a game if you want it to work, either wait for them to fix on PC or just buy it on PlayStation. Or they're just telling people who are on the fence, buy it on PlayStation. Because, get this, they may like the game. The game that they bought. And they're like, and they just bought the other version because they just want to play the game online. They may say, like, buy this on this if you like the game, whatever. Like, these are nothing statements. Like, why did you buy Street Fighter 6 3 times? Why did he buy multiple versions of Super Turbo and hate every single one of them? He bought that one HD version of Super Turbo on the PS3 or 360 years ago with Rambeezy. Then you have him really, like, dude, this dude caved to buy the Switch 1 because it was going to get a new version of Super Turbo. He bought that. Guess what? He hated that version. It was a bullshit version. And he said it was lazy. Guess what he bought next? Super Turbo 30th Anniversary Collection. Guess what, guys? He also hated that version. So you can imagine, whenever they do like the 40th Anniversary Collection, guess what DSP is gonna buy? That collection. And guess what he's gonna say? It sucks. It's lazy. But guess what he's gonna say to defend himself from buying it?
I'm a streamer, and I need a cover game so you know what's going on.
Or he's gonna do my favorite.
I'm craving classics
Like a junkie. He's gonna have like junkie withdrawals on Super Turbo. Like that's what he's gonna do by that point.
Why would you do that? Why would you tell your customer or your viewer base who relies on you for input and advice to buy the game twice when they can't refund their first purchase? People are trying to get refunds on Steam and being denied because Steam is saying, no,
This is stupid. He's inventing a problem that may not even be relevant to who they're talking about, talking to, because they're saying like, yeah, the PS5 version is like better than the PC version. Them saying that they should buy the PS5 version is a general advice that people who didn't buy the game yet may like to know. Like he's assuming that they're talking to exclusively people who bought the game already. Like, come on. What are you talking about? This is like a made up drama, made up issue.
you played it longer than 2 hours. So the game doesn't work on Steam, all right? Yet, you're telling them to buy it a second time without getting their money back. Does that sound like responsibility? Does that sound like...
Oh my god, this is super brain dead. Super duper brain dead. Secondly, if they're talking to their audience, they may not have played it for 2 hours, and they should know Steam's refund policy. If they bought the game on Steam, if you buy a game on Steam, you probably know their refund policy. I mean, everyone fucking talks about it. Everyone talks about the fucking refund policy. The reason why DSP is talking about the stupid Steam refund policy is he never used it in his life before. Because he was a console pleb. And then when he got the PC, he's like, oh my god. Guys, Steam has a refund policy. Like, dude, I don't really use it. I mean, I use Steam because I own a Steam Deck, obviously. But even before that, I knew of Steam's refund policy. Because guess what, guys? Everyone who talks about digital distribution will eventually talk about fucking Steam. Because you want to know why? Guys, get this. I think it's because Steam has a very pro-consumer attitude. I mean, again, they're not perfect. I mean, they have other issues, sure, but they're more pro-consumer than the competition. Like, compared to Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft. Like, they're infinitely better. It's because the refund policy is, like, worldwide, it's standardized, whatever. Meanwhile, PlayStation, all these other companies, they're relying on state laws. If the state does not require refunds, they're just not going to give you them. I mean, maybe you have to, like, hassle them to get a refund and do all this, like, jumping through hoops for a refund on PlayStation, but you don't have to do that for Steam. Like, but since DSP is now experiencing the beauties of Steam, he's like, guys, you know that Steam has a refund policy, and you know it's 2 hours long? Whoa, Phil, whoa, buddy, slow down. You're like, this is like an Internet Explorer level of breaking news.
Like something that a good influencer or creator should do? Or do you think you should actually care about your audience and be like, don't buy it again. They ripped you off the first time.
But it maybe they think that their audience is smart enough to kind of make their own decision. Like because they're probably saying like, yeah, the PC version doesn't work, and like, yeah, if you want like a game that's functional, the PlayStation 5 version is the version for that or whatever. And like, you know, whatever. The viewer can deduce if they want to waste their money. If they want to waste their money, they're going to waste their money. Like, people waste their money all the time. Like, come on. And at the end of the day, it's just a video game. Like, I love the guys,
It's just a video game.
and all this stuff, mocks all of these, like, it's insane. He's mocking people who talk about boycotts and this and that, but this is the same kind of, like, energy, right? Guys, why are you telling people this and that? Like, dude, people are gonna just buy whatever. If they're not gonna listen to people about boycotting games, how are they gonna listen to people about buying games? Hello?
Put your foot down and say, no, Sony, I don't want an all-digital future. I don't want you milking us and ruining stuff for us and taking our money and robbing us with subpar products. You don't deserve it. If anything, the FGC should be saying, we should boycott Marvel Tokon because this game ripped us off on PC and Sony is not a good company. Instead, they're literally telling everyone, buy the game a second time on PlayStation 5 if you want to play it, and everyone should do this because Marvel Tokon is hype, because Marvel Tokon is the future.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. they're not saying, oh, like that they like the game and they enjoy the game and all this other stuff. Like, no. They're only saying that it's hype now, guys. Buy the game now. This dude is so stupid and disingenuous and unfair. Imagine if someone like really reduced what he said to that degree. Like even detractors do not reduce the shit he says to that degree. Like that's how bad DSP is. Like like DSP is kind of like being worse than a detractor when it comes to reducing a statement someone is saying online. Like he's really just cutting all of the nuance or just being just typically generally unfair to what the person's talking about.
So the reason that they're doing this is very simple. They're
Very
desperate.
simple.
The FGC knows that they need hype games to keep their community pertinent. If they don't,
He has said this for years. For years he has said this. And it's like, how is it true? When is it true? Because fighting games still sell pretty well. They've been selling better now than they have been years ago, right? And the FGC still stayed the same size for the most part. Maybe got a little bit bigger because of tournaments and fame and blah 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 blah. But are they really that dependent on it? Because also, there are also people in the FGC that hate people who are jumping into the FGC just as much. Like, oh, these people are scrubs and they're just casuals and they think that they're one of us or whatever. Like, that happens as much as anything else.
they don't have a new hype game every year, then people stop talking about the FGC. And it lowers in its importance and it lowers in people caring about watching EVO and other tournaments, and people just don't give a shit. There's entire people who their livelihood is dependent on fighting games being
Again,
prominent.
You notice how when Capcom started to like not have to pay a preview fee or whatever they made the Capcom Cup whatever into a pay-per-view. You don't think that's gonna like lead to people like not supporting tournaments anymore or not care about tournaments as much anymore? Like, again, there's a lot of stuff going on in the FGC and this and that, whatever. This is a very like forced rant, very forced.
Prominent and talked about and streamed and played. So if Marvel Tokon doesn't succeed and ends up being a flop, they're out of money. That bag that they thought they were going to make is now gone. Oh, darn. So what they're going to do is very simple.
What?
They're going to lie, they're going to hype, and they're going to shill, which is exactly what they're doing right now.
Again, we are just ignoring that the game itself is good, right? People like the game, people enjoy the game, all of this stuff. We are literally ignoring that because there's the existence of a bad version of the game, and the FGC is going to the version that's not bad and enjoying it. But now we're gonna talk about Tokon as if it's Street Fighter V, even though there's a version that is good. Like, this is super brain dead. Like how brain dead do you have to be to have this statement and act this way? Again, Marvel Tokon is at least a good game, unlike Street Fighter V, correct? Street Fighter V had a lot of issues, and a lot of people did not like this game at all. At all. Even after all of the stuff they did to it. Sure, you may have, like, a different opinion now, but a lot of people still don't like the game. DSP's talking about, like, Tokon as if it's the same as Street Fighter V. It's not the same. And it's kind of, like, disingenuous when he just said in the same video, Tokon is good, and then blah, 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 but now he's saying, like, well, they're gonna hype it, they're gonna shill it, and this, but what if it's a good game? Saying to buy on PlayStation 5 is a general statement that could mean many things. They could be saying in general to buy it on PS5 to people who may not even own the game yet. They may say it because it's like right now consistently a good version of the game, whatever. And they may be saying that to people who don't own the game yet. Or to people who are considering switching over. And all this other stuff. Like, there's a minutia of, like, nuance to this. And yet again, this is the guy that always says, life isn't black and white. There's a lot of variety or whatever the fuck. And yet this is a very absolute opinion. And it's black and white. We're ignoring the nuance that the game is actually good. There's things that are good about the game. It's just there's one bad port of the game, and there's a good version of the game. That's what's going on here. And the FGC has been very open and direct, saying it's a mixed reaction. And I love him saying the FGC is blowing smoke up the ass of the game. Meanwhile, the fucking Steam reviews are mixed or negative because of this. But if the FGC were trying to glaze the fuck out of the game, wouldn't they try to hide the negativity? Like, it makes no sense. How can they hide the negativity? Why? Like, come on, what are we talking about here? So they're gonna glaze the game, but at the same time highlight that there's a bad port of the game. You don't think that these two things are gonna like fucking make the general person feel a little mixed on the game? Huh?
I'm glad that they were honest and saying that the game sucks on PC. That's a good thing that they did. But anyone who bought this game on PC and then recommends you go buy it on a separate platform, even though you can't get your money back for the first version, that's irresponsible.
That's
not
assuming
caring
if they
whatsoever
didn't, if
about
they
your
played
viewing
beyond 2
audience
hours
and not doing the right thing. The right thing to do would be like,
Oh
nah,
my
you got ripped
God.
off. Don't spend money on that crap. Play something else. But the FGC can't afford to do that. This has been like this forever. This is Street Fighter V. When that game came out, that was a horrendous piece of shit.
Yeah,
at launch,
no one talked about it.
but they all kept playing it
guys.
and kept spending money on it because they were desperate. They needed a game
Oh
to
my
talk
God.
about and play.
Dude,
'cause if they
again,
didn't-
we are ignoring that every modern fighter, for the most part, will still be supported by the FGC in the sense that they need that game for tournaments. Because there are people, get this, that want to play modern games because they will naturally have a bigger audience. Do you think when Street Fighter V came out, Street Fighter 4 was raging? DSP refused to play Street Fighter 4 when 5 came out. He refused to even acknowledge the game. And this guy's like, why are they playing modern games? Yeah, because it's the most modern release. Like this is a really brain dead take. Like one day he's gonna grow up and realize, oh, there's more to this than this.
didn't, they have nothing to put out. No content. So, that's the truth. That's my take. You could disagree, and that's fine if you do. All right, but here's my take on it. Just like everyone else who bought this on PC, we all got ripped off. All right? I played the beta, and after the beta, ArcSys came out publicly and said, this is why we have betas. To learn, to adjust, and to improve. So
boy.
rest assured, we took all your feedback during the beta with the PC problems, and this will be fixed for launch. 2 weeks later,
They didn't say that. They did not say it would be fixed for launch. I don't think they did. I think they said like they'll aim for launch. Like I don't think they promised that. I'm going on a limb to say that they did not promise it would be fixed by launch. They said they'll try to get it fixed like in that window, the best they can and all that shit. And apparently it's down for maintenance today. So it's like, yeah, they're trying to fix it. But of course he's like, they lied because they didn't fix it by launch, even though they never promised by launch.
nothing was fixed for launch. It still runs like shit. Now, it very well could be they'll fix it, okay? But you heard what I just read you about what people have discovered about this game. It's either for ultra casuals who just want a button
He
mash.
also ignored the guy in the email said that there's no ETA on when it would be fixed. They said there's going to be a fix. It says we don't know when they're going to fix it. But again, he keeps assuming that every developer lies. I mean, sure, they lie about some things or they exaggerate on some things, but they're not going to lie about fixing something. Like, come on.
Mash, or it's for big time sweats and tryhards who invest an incredible amount of time into the game. Well, I'm somewhere in the middle. Even to be honest with you, even with Street Fighter 6, I don't think anyone could even consider me to be a tryhard or a sweat. I was more of a hardcore casual. Does that?
He was a tryhard. He like refused to play other characters. He was not open to just losing. Like he just wanted to just he focused on winning. That's like the most tryhard thing you can do.
Does that make sense? Like, I would play a lot of it, but then I would still play other games. It wasn't that fighting games were my main focus, and I only played it, and I went to tournaments, and I did all that. I did none of that. I only played the game solely online. I only learned to a certain level. I got certain characters to master, and then I was like, all right, that's enough. And I moved on and did other stuff. To be considered a tryhard or a sweat, like, this is your thing. This is your major focus.
I love if you like the
as
game,
a
you're a
creator or a
tryhard.
player.
Like,
and
I
that's
like
all
Guilty
you
Gear, I
do,
play a
and
lot
I'm
of it.
never
Does-
going to do that with
I mean-
with fighting games. I just want to make this abundantly clear.
Does that make me a tryhard?
Moving
Maybe.
forward, I'm not saying that I won't cover fighting games. I'm not saying that I won't enjoy fighting games, and I'm not saying that I'm never going to
Oh my
play.
god, we're doing another empty promise. Guys, like, he's doing this anyway. He's doing this, like, he did this before. Dude, he played Tekken 8, like, for a month, and then he dropped it. Yeah, of course you can only play some fighting games when they're new and not stick with them, and only stick with Street Fighter, because you're a fucking Street Fighter fanboy.
a lot of a fighting game, but I can tell you right now, I have found my way of success being a variety creator. Doing fighting games here, a shooter here, an RPG here, Pokemon one day, Assassin's Creed the next, Dark Souls the next. That's how I'm successful, because I jump around and I do variety and I don't get stagnant. If I only played fighting games, things would get stagnant
But
as
this is
shit
already stagnant.
and would actually dry up and be boring
But
around
whatever.
here, and I would lose a ton of my audience. And I know that. That's why I'm a variety creator. And that's why I continuously take your feedback and take your suggestions. I tried to integrate and improve and do new things in my content that I didn't used to do.
The-
Great. This entire thing was your idea. Integrating collectible
yeah.
copy for that I'm doing new.
I mean, again, he needs these cards to hype up his streams. Again, this is what he accused the fighting game community of doing. Finding something and hyping it up to be the big thing for the community so they can stay relevant. This is the same kind of thing when you think about it.
New things. What if I just sat around playing fighting games all day? Maybe for a very small percentage of you,
You can grow an audience
that would
by
be
doing
fine.
that, though.
But for most of you, you'd be like, that's boring. You're doing way too much of it. And I know that because even
Again,
when
he's acting like all these people, like, all they do is play fighting games. Sure, the tournament goers might do that, but I've seen people who play Street Fighter, Guilty, or whatever, also play other games, like LTG, Maximilian, etc. He keeps talking about these people as if all they play is, like, single-player games. I mean, fighting games, but they play other games too. It's not necessarily true.
even when I was just playing as much as Street Fighter 6 as I was, a lot of people were complaining that they were bored. Okay?
Okay. They were bored of Street Fighter 6 because he played boring. He had no variety in his gameplay. Didn't try other characters. Didn't even want to try Cammy. Cammy scared him. He was scared of Cammy. I get it. I mean, I'm scared of Cammy too. I would never play her.
We're going
I
to talk a
think
little
we
bit
know.
about that as well. Card fluctuating price
Oh my god, card fluctuating prices.
that they happen the way they do. Some went up, some went down. We'll talk about that. But anyway, in regards to this, right? I'm trying to do variety and it works. If I just sit here and just play fighting games, I know for a fact it won't work. I'm not known as a fighting game guy. I don't think I ever will be. The fighting game community hates me because at a time when they were struggling and they were really trying to make it, I was popular. I was huge for being myself and not just being a try-hard, sweat grinder trying to win tournaments and shit. And I was doing much better
Is
than
that
they.
why you brag about winning all these qualifiers? I won all these qualifiers. The FGC is trying, and he's saying this. There's rants. There's rants. I don't know if I caught it in my expedition stream I did like a week ago. I feel like I did, but he yelled. He yelled at people. They're trying to erase my history. I won tournaments, and they're saying I didn't win tournaments. I won tournaments all the time, bitching about not getting credit for winning tournaments. And I was like, I never cared about tournaments. I was. He like acts as if he was like a fucking nomad in the FGC. Like he was this like humble guy. Like, yeah, wow, man, I love you guys, peace and love. And some guy was like, "Fuck you, Phil," and then they push him down the stairs. And he's like, "You may push me down the stairs, but I love you. He wasn't like that. He was an asshole.
than they were back in the day. So they hate my guts and haven't changed, even though I really don't give a shit about them.
And I think the whole thing about him uploading gameplay was pissing them off was he was recording matches of other people and uploading them before they could like do anything with the footage. Like I think that's the majority of the problem. And even when you look this it, and then even if you take into consideration his gameplay, right? Let's say that they were just mad about him uploading his own gameplay. I think it was just his attitude they were mostly upset about. He's spinning it as they're just jealous because, you know, it's DSP. He's always going to say that.
They still, you know, dunk on me and say dumb shit about me all the time for no reason. So I don't care about them, and I have no desire to be part of the FGC. I never
Well,
want
after
to.
this, I don't know
Okay.
why they would ever not
So in regards
dunk
to
on
Marvel
you.
Tokon, all right, it's this simple. I bought the game. I made the choice. I even said, hey, even if this game still sucks online like it did in the beta, at least it looks like there's going to be some good offline content. I was right. Okay, the game has 5 story episodes. So far, we've played 2. There's still 3 remaining. There's the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Spider-Man team, right? I'm
Correct.
sure that those are going to have some great stories and some good content, right? There's other offline content as well. I actually don't know what it is because I haven't played it yet.
You know,
And I
there's
haven't
an
explored
arcade
it.
mode,
It may be
though,
worth
or
doing. It may
whatever.
not be. I'm not sure. But at the very least, I think that the story modes are actually done exceptionally well, and I want to play them. Okay? So I will. In fact,
Okay.
I already have another Marvel Tokon stream scheduled for Tuesday on the day stream, and I want to at least play through 1, if not 2 of the stories during that stream. But the thing is, I need you guys to actually show up for it, and here's why I say that. On Thursday, the release day of this game, I played the Doom campaign, and then we played a little bit of online for about 45 minutes, and then I played through the Samurai Outriders campaign. During the Samurai Outriders campaign, all I got was toxic shit from the chat. People were being insanely unfair, very negative, very...
Again, the chat was expecting online. So it's unfair for them to expect online when, like, he said he would 2 online. I don't know why he just didn't take the same team and go online. Who knows? But, you know what? You know what? Let's go back to my theory about this. I think he knew, like, he bought the game on PC knowing full well the game's gonna be shitty online and it's gonna perform poorly, and he played online in the day stream to placate the trolls or whatever. But then it was like, I'm gonna do story mode at night, and if I do online, I do online. But if I don't, that's great. Like that was his mentality. Because there's no reason for him to do that. He probably did that because he knew he was going to like not do online, or at least there'd be a chance of him not doing online. That's my theory. Because he knew the game was not good performative wise, so he was like, okay, well, if the online sucks, I'll just stick to the single player. Because he didn't want to play this game online. He did not like the game online at all. He didn't like the game at all. You know, whatever.
very toxic constantly. And all they were doing
But he
was
was toxic
yelling
about
at
the
me to play
FGC, but
online.
whatever.
To which I explained, I'm not going to do that because I don't know how to play the game. In order to play online, you need to play with the characters, learn their offline stuff, then you go online. You don't just go right into online play having no concept of how to play the game. It would be a waste of your time. But the audience doesn't listen. They sit there and they spam toxic stuff the entire time. So while I'm trying to have fun with the story with the Samurai Outriders team, I'd say 80% of chat was acting like little brats and being very, very negative and toxic towards me and the stream,
Oh,
claiming that they hated it and they just
Aw.
wanted me to go online.
they were being
I'm
very
not going to do
mean.
that. Particularly now, we know the online play
Aw,
doesn't even
that's-
work on
that's
PC.
so
It
sad.
lags to shit. You can't find
Aw,
matches.
man.
It teleports all over. It rolls back.
Guys, they were
It's a
being
waste of
mean
your
to
time.
Phil.
All right, the FGC has now abandoned this actual game online on PC. They're outright said, we're not going to play it anymore. We're all going to go buy it on PlayStation 5, and we're going to turn crossplay off so PC players can't find matches. Okay?
Yeah, they did that to punish the PC players. I love it's like we turn off so the
being
PC
very
can't find
honest with
matches.
all of you,
Yeah, that's why they did
I'm
it.
not going to
whatever.
warrant a single person yelling at me saying they're demanding that I play this game online. I can't. I don't even have the right version to play online. If I had it on PS5, then at least it would have been a fun experience without
Notice he did not buy this game on PS5. He bought it on PC when people knew, even before launch, PC might have problems. He bought on PC anyway.
a lot of lag and rollback and dropped frames and issues. Everyone collectively agrees the PC version sucks. Even the biggest creators are dropping PC and buying it on PS5 and only playing it on PS5. Okay? So, what I plan to do with this game moving forward this week is playing through some of the episodes and stories. I hope that those of you who
Okay, is there any more?
together, seeing how the game, design, the production value, and the story of this game. I want to experience that. Okay? It sure.
All right. I think that's. I don't think there's anything else. So this would be a somewhat short video. I was thinking doing the daily wrap, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But I will say, he later on does not hit the goal for Ask Creed, and I was gonna say it's very funny because when Tokon didn't do well last week, he was like,
See, I do better in these other games. Fucking Tokon did nothing. I got more support in Ask Creed and this and that,
and then this stream did not do well. I thought this game did well, Phil. You said it does. Oh well. That's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good week. See you when I see ya. And bye.